Okay, how's everybody doing? Welcome again. It's that late night show that we have for everyone here. And I know that all of you guys, had a very good day. And hopefully, if it wasn't that good, I believe that tomorrow is going to be better than today. That's what we can hold on to. It was a very good time this morning I had with a team, with a chat. Where we go, and looked into the story, of Atiku Abubakar. There was a recent storyline, and I think a documentary that was done with respect to him, his career, how he started far back as 1992 with respect to his political career, and other stuff that came in. We looked at the challenges he had with Obasanjo and all of those. We couldn't finish that, so I plan to go ahead with that now and also do that. But before we continue the documentary about Atiku, the presidency of Nigeria today declared a nationwide security emergency, and I was like, wow, that's good. It's better late than never. That's what I want to say to that. It's better late than never. I mean, if you could have declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, even without the first bomb coming off or without the first destruction of the pipeline coming up, then you should be able to declare a nationwide emergency when we see this terrorism occurrence happening almost every other day. And the president has come out, declaration of nationwide security emergency, and recruitment of additional army and police personnel. Fellow Nigerians, today, in view of the emergency security situation, I have decided to declare a nationwide security emergency and other additional recruitment into the armed forces. By this declaration, the police and the army are authorized to recruit more personnel. They need to get more people. They need to get more people into the force. Number one, this is going to boost the morale of the military person. We saw how a brigadier general was being unceremoniously unalived, just last week. And it's been a real show of shame. Now there is a need, and also there's a directive to employ 20,000 more police officers, bringing the total to 50,000. Although I had previously approved the nationwide upgrade of police training facilities, the police authorities are, by this statement, authorized to use the various National Youth Service Corps camps as training depot. So all of the camps across the country will be used to do a fast-tracking training. I think this is more important than even just doing all this normal orientation exercise. The officers being withdrawn from VIP guard duties should undergo crash training to debrief them. No more carrying of madam's bag at public function for police officers. No more putting 3, 4, 5, 6 police officers to just one so-called politicians. If the politicians, or even if the high net worth individual, if they need security, they have a way they can import. They can buy securities. They can get trained securities from abroad. If they have the money, they should pay. Taxpayers shouldn't be subsidizing. It's not only petrol that we subsidize in Nigeria. I mean, we subsidize ridiculous stuff. So officers being withdrawn from the VIP guard duties will now undergo crash training to debrief them and deliver more efficient police services when deployed to security challenge areas of the country. This is a welcome development. So when next you go to the Owambe or to the next party and you see a policeman, you have to actually ask him, hey, what are you doing here? I thought you were being withdrawn. If VIPs need security, they can buy them. There are trained people, there are companies that sell that. The DSS also has my authority to immediately deploy all the forest guard already trained to flush out the terrorists and bandits lurking in our forest. The agency also has my directive to recruit more men to man the forest. There will be no more hiding place for agents of evil. Agents of evil, agents of death, that's what they are. My fellow Nigerians, this is a national emergency. And we are responding by deploying more boots on the ground, especially in security challenge areas. The times requires all hands on deck. As Nigerians, we should all get involved in securing our nation. Let me take this moment to commend our security agencies for working together to secure the release of the 24 schoolgirls in Kebbi and the 38 worshippers in Kwara State. We will continue to sustain the efforts to rescue the remaining students of the Catholic school in Niger State and other Nigerians still being able to stay. By now, we should have those students back. We should have them back. Like, I still don't understand. It's not an easy feat. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the government is not trying, but I'm saying that by now, you should have combed all those areas. The earlier you make your move, the better. This was what Jonathan failed to do in 2015. And the thing became a real mess. Again, to the leadership and rank and file of our armed forces, I commend your courage and your sacrifices. Most of them have paid the ultimate sacrifice, giving up their life on the battlefield. I commend your courage and your sacrifice. This is a challenging moment for our nation and for the military institution itself. I charge you to remain resolute to restore peace across all theater of operations and to uphold the highest standards of discipline and integrity. There must be no compromise, no collusion, no negligence. The Nigerian people are counting on you and this administration. Okay? And this administration will provide you the support you need to succeed. Now, that being said, in addition, our administration will support state governments which have set up security outfits to safeguard their people from the terrorists bent on disrupting our national peace. Again, the state governors should cooperate. This is not the time for us to see terrorists hiding in the apartment of a governor. And when that has happened, the person in question has gotten rapid promotion to the apex or semi-apex position or seat in our national politics. Again, that's crazy. I call on the National Assembly. I've been calling on the National Assembly. I've been calling on them for the past how many days that they need to get their games up and tight. They've been kind of lackluster in all of this. Okay, I call on the National Assembly to review our laws to allow states that require state police to establish them. States should rethink establishing boarding schools in remote areas without adequate security. Mosques and churches should constantly seek police and other security personnel protection when they gather for prayers, especially in vulnerable areas. At this point in time, to be honest with you, I understand the courage of people that still want to worship in the face of brutal persecution and all that. But this is not a persecution coming from the states. It's a persecution coming from derelict individuals, people with bad morals. At this point in time, if you have a church, you need to also set up a security infrastructure that would help. Okay, that would help your congregation. That's very important. Our administration created the livestock ministry to address the persistent clashes between the others, and so this is a good one. This one just got opened. This one just got created. I call on all herders associations to take advantage of it, end open grazing, and surrender illegal weapons. You're not fit to have an organization if all you want to do is to secure arms for your farmers. And at some point, those organizations also need to be put under strict scrutiny. Very important. Ranching is now the path forward for sustainable livestock farming and national harmony. The federal government, in collaboration with the states, will work with you to solve this problem. I sympathize with the family who have lost their loved ones recently. It listed all of those states: Kebbi, Borno, Zamfara, Niger, Yobe, and Kwara State. I also pay tribute to our brave soldier who have made the ultimate sacrifices, including, this is the first time, Brigadier General Musa Iba. They should give this guy a national award, posthumously, of course. They should give him a national award. I would even say promote him to the highest rank if possible, because he paid the ultimate sacrifice. We need names. We need individuals. Also, people within the rank and files of the government that is carrying waters for these people. Because this is not just simple, some poor people are trying to fight. No, this is not a fight for poor people. These are not poor people fighting. This is an extreme terrorism. Those who want to test our resolve should never mistake our restraint for weakness. This is going straight to those guys who I believe they know themselves. Those who want to test our resolve should never mistake our restraint for weakness. This administration has the courage and determination to keep the country safe and ensure our citizens live in peace. If you cannot guarantee this, then you have no business being in Aso Rock. I sympathize with the families who have lost their loved ones in the recent attack on soft targets in Kebbi, Borno, Zamfara, Niger, Yobe, Kwara State. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I also pay tribute to our brave soldiers who have made the ultimate sacrifice, including Brigadier General Musa Ahmed. Fellow compatriot, I urge you not to give in to the fear and never succumb to despair. Let's stand together in purpose and strength to defend our freedom and values. Our administration will continue to guarantee peaceful coexistence and preserve our union. I urge all Nigerians to remain calm and vigilant, report suspicious activities, cooperate with security agencies. We're in this fight together, and together we shall win. Yeah. That's a good one. I wish and I hope, let me use the word I hope that the presidency will be able to follow through with this. And this is good. There was an hearing held today at the Senate. I'm going to be looking at that fully. There were a lot of back and forth. I'm going to look at that. But before I do, I want to continue what I was talking about, the Eden story of Atiku. We watched the first 40 minutes and I did comment to that. I also dropped the link earlier this morning. Yeah, I'll just continue from where we stopped.
Worked for Akinwumi Adesina in securing the support of South Africa to work.
I'm gonna take it back a little bit just for the mid stuff, just to be able to capture things that really happened. So let me just go at the 30 mark. Okay, let me do that.
CC, and he has always come out clean.
In a particular instance, for instance, somebody accused him the other day that he approved the sale of Ajaokuta steel rolling mills and was trying to draw a comparison. The project was frittered for $120,000 and Nigerian government has to repurchase it for $460. Nothing can be more, damaging and more criminal, especially for somebody who didn't know the head or tail of the issue. Indeed, under his guidance, the Council on Privatization advised against the sale. But don't forget that there was a full government department, the Bureau of Public Enterprises, then led by Nasiru El-Rufai, which took the final decisions on what went and what didn't go.
True.
We need to get this very clear because unfortunately, the man has suffered, drawn a lot of flack, actually wrongly, and offensively, unfairly as well, from people who don't understand, the nitty-gritty of what happened. We need to get it very clear. So much debt was thrown at him, by his principal at the time and agents of his principal, because Atiku Abubakar dared to challenge legally his boss over his bid for a third term.
And basically, I think it was a third-term agenda that actually made that created a split between both of them for the most part. Again, there was also the rumor even before the third-term agenda that the second term also that Atiku was so powerful. Now I can't confirm this, that Obasanjo had to prostrate and kneel down for him because he was ready to actually stop Obasanjo's second-term ambition, not to even talk of the third term. And I think as a result of that, that was where the bad blood started.
I went to Obasanjo 2019 after Atiku got primaries to literally thank him. And I said, And I stayed in his hotel. You know, I was his guest, stayed in his hotel. We had breakfast, I stayed a day. And I said, sir, we're all in the system with you. I knew you were really angry with my principal. I am happy as a Christian that you have forgiven him. And I am happy that you are towing the line of a statesman.
Obasanjo doesn't forgive anybody. You can see what happened between him and Fayose just two weeks ago. He doesn't forgive, he doesn't forget. He will always want to get back at you. Not only get back at you, he will also want to get back at whoever he deems is associated with you and may actually want to take your side. That's what I've seen him do.
But let me ask you, is this for real? What happened? Knowing how I knew the level of animosity, the level of quarrel, that today you are the one that is saying that you are supporting Atiku to be president. I say, what happened? You say, what? That is it. And he said, the international community, they are buying into this. They are buying into this. And I now asked him, what really was the problem? There's this issue of corruption. What is this? What is the problem? Do you know that Obasanjo could not tell me one single incident of corruption?
PwC.
Anyway, but I did read some corruption allegations, okay, allegations at its best, that was presented by the U.S. Congress with respect to Atiku. And also there's this common saying out there that Atiku can't even travel to the United States of America, else is going to be picked up. So there, all that. Then again, I know how be it, some of those words from Obasanjo had to be political in nature, I would say, you know, but again, that's it.
PricewaterhouseCoopers, I called them, I said, look, I want you to advise us on how we can provide sufficient power for Nigeria before we leave office. And they went around this country and produced a report which, convinced me that we could provide enough power supply to this country before leaving office by 2000. We left office 2007, right? By 2005, 2 years before leaving office, we would have provided, enough electricity, in this country. I tried to push it through with the president to get his approval, but he was more inclined to
About that?
Power supply by gas. And I told him that was based on advice I got from many of the oil companies. It was going to take not less than 7 to 10 years, but he insisted on that. And that's why he set up the power committee and made me the chairman. And I declined to actually participate as a chairman, and I left to the Minister of Power then, who was the deputy chairman of the committee, to handle that. And that was how we ended up in this, chaotic situation today.
With what you went through in the latter years of the Obasanjo administration, if there is anything to be pinned on him, he would have been jailed. There's no question about that, because from all indications, they were looking for what to pin on him, and nobody could see anything. And you see a lot of people talking about corruption, and I think even in the service, when we work together in customs, they say customs is, they could say customs is corrupt, but you can't say that of him. In terms of, he was doing the work as it should be done.
Akin Kekere-Ekun is one of Nigeria's finest financial and project managers. He served as chairman of the Technical Committee of the National Council for Privatization, NCP, while Malam Nasser El-Rufai was Director General of the Bureau for Public Enterprises, BPE.
Yep.
Both men were close to...
That was his first gig, right? I mean, literally his first gig as a PDP stalwart when Obasanjo took over in 1999.
The former vice president. In the course of the privatization of some government-run organization, an incident occurred.
He had a relationship with the Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprise. He also had a relationship with people like us who are external members of the council. There was a particular incident where a gentleman wanted to pay for his interest in a particular bid, and the deadline has been over. And the DG at that time felt that we shouldn't take the money. But he spoke to me and he said I should speak to the vice president. I did. And at that time, once I told him the implication of our taking the money, he agreed with us that we should not take the money. And we did not take the money. That's the kind of person he is.
Okay.
Professor Sylvester Monya was the special advisor on performance, monitoring, and evaluation to President Goodluck Jonathan. He believed that the lack of understanding of what privatization entails had led many Nigerians to misconstrue privatization to be the same thing as selling public assets or stripping a country of its assets.
You will recall that when GSM was introduced, they were made the bidders for the GSM license were made to pay about $200 million each for their license to be able to operate. Then we had Econet and MTN, if you remember. So they paid $200 million plus the setup costs and everything, and their projection was that they will make profit in maybe 5 years. As you and I know today, they made profit in less than 6 months.
Wow.
Now,
I mean, yeah, that was what happened then. MTN, Econet, and all of those guys that started then made so much money because they were swindling Nigeria with this so-called per minute billing. It was until later when Globalcom came that it then brought the per second billing. Okay, so they made ridiculous sums of money in the first few months of launching MTN, and I think it was is it Airtel or Econet then, I think, yeah.
our NITEL, because they were a federal government entity, they were given GSM license free of charge.
Yep, I remember.
Free of charge. Where is NITEL? Where is their license today? That is what we're talking about. So when you hear that an Atiku presidency is pro-private sector, he is not saying it because he has friends in the private sector. Obviously, he has friends in the private sector, but that's not the objective. The objective is delivery of superior results.
I used to say in the civil service, my people. Oh, my people. Mr. President, my people have asked me to vote no on tenure extension.
Many undiscerning Nigerians did not
yeah.
know that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, as a Democrat, was at the forefront of the fight to stop the third-term plot of President Olusegun Obasanjo.
Okay.
He was, in fact, the field marshal of the anti-third-term movement. It is believed that his role in the collapse of the well-funded project earned him the wrath of Chief Obasanjo.
Those in support of the motion that the bill be now read a second time, say aye. Aye. Contrary? Contrary has it.
And that was how the third-term agenda of Obasanjo was destroyed. Now, he always claims he doesn't have anything to do with it. He's always saying that, you know what, he never did anything. He didn't plan to have a third term and all that. But again, this is how legacy is being made. Because since Obasanjo has left, I mean, he's always been in the media, right? And every year when he goes to the media, even this year, they still asked him about the third-term agenda. Tell us what you know about it. Now, again, I don't know if I should take him at his word that he knew nothing about it, but I think that has been part of his legacy. Either he knows anything about it or not. But here, this documentary is making it clear that Atiku, okay, I mean, they were fighting, but I think the whole thing got to a crescendo at the point where he decided to stop his third-term agenda. There were other things also that Atiku did. I mean, the pact with Tinubu then that ensured that Lagos State didn't fall to PDP. Because then when all the southwestern state fell, Lagos State was the only party, was the only state that had AD, you know, as their governor, which was Tinubu. Now Tinubu is the president. Fast forward till today.
So, by this result, the Senate has said clearly and eloquently that we discontinue further processes on this amendment bill.
I don't think anybody can speak of that anti-third term struggle in the Senate over and beyond my humble self.
Okay, let's hear that. Because Obasanjo says he doesn't know anything.
The Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who marshaled the other governors, from James Ibori to Tinubu to Orji Kalu to Bafarawa, Kure, and Co. And then we held a meeting at the Niger State Governor's Lodge, where he himself, Atiku Abubakar, came there physically and addressed us, the National Assembly, both Senate and House of Reps. Said, we must not allow this
to happen.
Succeed. It
Fair
will
enough.
derail our democracy. Before the
It would derail our democracy. It will also derail his ambition because he also wanted to be president. But again, for all its worth, that was ridiculous. I mean, coming from someone that was in jail, that was left in jail, left to ruin, you need to see his picture when he got out of jail. Howbeit, I'm not in support of him, you know, taken to jail. But who would have thought that Obasanjo would have been the person that changes the whole fortune of the country and put the country on a path to development and a path to greatness with successive leaders, you know, doing the right thing. But we didn't get that.
final slaying of that third-term effort on the 16th of May, 2006.
Why?
So you can see his democratic credentials.
Congratulations, Your Excellency, for your incredible passion, your dedication, and commitment to building the future generations. You're helpers of other people's destinies.
A man gifted with sporting talents. The story is told of how Atiku worked for Akinwumi Adesina in securing the support of South Africa towards his election as the first Nigerian president of the African Development Bank, AFDB. This is after 50 years of the existence of the bank.
And His Excellency did not hesitate. He took me, flew me on his jet. We went to South Africa to see the president of South Africa.
So this Femi Adesina, the president of AFDB?
I had only 5 minutes to make my case. And he was standing right beside me. I made the case, and I remember the president of South Africa looked at him and said, I think I have in front of me the future president of the African Development Bank. I want to publicly thank you, Your Excellency, because without that journey and helping my destiny, I probably wouldn't be president of the African Development Bank.
Oh, that's
so
good.
I want to say thank you very much, sir,
That's good.
for that journey that you took me to South
cool.
Africa.
This is the book I published since 2004. It's on restructuring of this country.
For a man who has been severally described as cosmopolitan, Atiku Abubakar is the only candidate in the presidential election who has been openly vocal about the restructuring of Nigeria. This is evident in the book, My Covenant with Nigerians, where he shared his ideas about restructuring, which he believes will unlock the full potential of Nigeria.
One of the programs I think we should let him implement is the restructuring of this country, which is going to be of benefit to every part of the country.
Fair enough.
Let nobody deceive you that restructuring will favor some people and will go against some people. This is what people are preaching. They are preaching it for their selfish interest, not for the good of all of us. But for the good of all of us, we need to restructure.
Hi, Solution
We
Peddler.
need to get the best out of Nigeria.
Welcome to the show.
We need to get people to work hard.
Again, yeah, I don't know if it's, I know they released this towards the 2027 elections. Again, I maintain that right now, with whatever is happening in the country, the opposition party is not in a very strong position to take on the ruling party, which is APC. But then things can change, okay? Things can change tomorrow. I don't know. But from what I'm seeing right now, and also the temperature of all these other opposition party, the structure and whatever it is that they've gathered and put together, it's not looking good for them. But again, we're looking at it, the story of Atiku Abubakar, Obasanjo, MKO Abiola, and the betrayal. Again, if you've not subscribed to this channel, I try to come on twice a day. I would love that you subscribe. But thanks for joining in and thanks for watching.
We need to get people to struggle. We need to have a healthy competition between the components in Nigeria. And we need to live a symbiotic life. Every part of this country has something to contribute. There's no part of the country that has nothing to contribute. And that is the benefit of being a large, diverse country.
One thing I can probably vouch for is that Atiku will keep to all his promises. I was there.
This is
when
Oyinlola, governor of Osun
my
State.
people in the Southwest confronted him in the last dispensation, in the last election. He gave us his word.
This coming from Atiku is not convincing. Yeah, I know, right? Like, and again, he just celebrated his 79th birthday yesterday. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens, because if he becomes the president, he's going to be in that office up until age 84. Man, I don't know.
That restructuring will be one of the things he will tackle. And he has repeated it.
Atiku Abubakar is flesh and blood. He is far from perfect and makes no attempt to claim to be infallible. Politics taught him focus, determination, and the ability to manage people. His success in life is proof that the Nigerian dream exists, and that with providence and hard work, every Nigerian citizen, irrespective of background, can aspire to any position in life.
And again, fine. Another thing on that restructuring thing. This guy has been contesting elections almost every election cycle. So again, I don't know if it's a good thing. He's within his right to contest. Okay, he's within his right to contest, but I don't think that, he believes in this restructuring thing of a thing. I know he believes that he has the power of the North behind him. He believes that with all his mind, that he has the power of the North behind him.
Most people tend to focus on his tenure as vice president.
Mm-hmm. That's what
without
we got.
actually putting into context who the man Atiku is.
Oh, okay.
So who is Atiku and what does he stand for?
Okay.
The interesting thing about Nigerian customs is that it is a very large paramilitary institution, a parastatal that is very, very large.
And also corrupt.
It's a regulatory body as well. And therefore it has a helicopter view of the entire federal system of government, because it interacts with a number of other federal bodies and institutions. So his sojourn in Nigerian customs has actually given him the opportunities to know this country very well. In the process, he has actually built lasting partnerships with a number of institutions and individuals in this country and outside. That job had also exposed him to the world, and he's become a man of the world. So that more or less built him into who he is and what he is.
Okay.
While I was the governor of Osun State, I got a message from him.
Okay.
Through DSP Alaye Messia, may so rest in peace, that Waziri Atiku Abubakar will want me to mediate to resolve the differences between him and his boss. I never thought somebody of that political status will condescend so low to ask me to come and mediate. And
so this is an Obasanjo stalwart loyalist.
When we go to Abeokuta, that thing was between me, Waziri, and Baba Obasanjo. Nobody knew about the plan. And Baba talked of how he deliberately left Waziri to handle the home front. He said that he left governance to him.
Okay.
For the first 4 years. And his intention was for him to take him around the world, that this is the incoming successor. So I'm saying that he was a tested hand in terms of ruling this country. And that's why I say it's from authoritative source, because I heard it from the two of them.
Yeah.
That is one.
That's politics. When they can tell you one thing and do something else. So again, I'm just saying. Anyway, they both fell out, Atiku and Obasanjo, and this is the result.
Yes, over and above the rest of his mates.
He's a team leader and a child of destiny.
Okay.
He has a paramilitary background. Then his nature as a person, he's somebody who can manage people. And he is humble enough to respect everybody, whether you're junior, middle, or above. For one, Atiku is not afraid of confronting issues. Now, when you have that kind of capacity, you can put people together. You can get people to work together, and you can lead.
Okay.
So an individual like Atiku is somebody who has been exposed to all these things. Because 8 years as a vice president, an active vice president, and a vice president who was so strong and powerful and influential.
Yeah, it was really powerful.
Warrants that
really
he
powerful.
has learned or has enough experience, if he's given that opportunity to do what is necessary.
Okay.
1, he has the discipline. 2, today he has the maturity. 3, he has the connections. 4, he has the resources.
Okay.
Today, when people, yes, he may have been a very successful businessman to date, but money is not an issue. Personal gain is not an issue. Today, it's service to the nation, legacy issues.
At what point, like this guy is 80 years. At what point is like enough is enough? Like at what point do you want to leave the scene and bring other people that can take over the mantle? People you've mentored, if any, they can take over the mantle. And this was primarily one of the problems that led to the destruction of the PDP as we know of it today. Dude is 80 years old, bro.
In 2000, Dim Chukwuemeka Megojuku was making frantic efforts to come and see President Obasanjo to make a case, very strong case, for the Biafran army officers who came into Biafra army from the Nigerian army. Unfortunately, he was not able to get audience with President Obasanjo. So I went to see the Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Now, the Vice President gave me his aircraft and told me to make a reservation at the Hilton Transcorp for a presidential suite for 1 week. Fortunately, President Obasanjo accepted Dim's request, and it came to pass. That's how you saw that Nigerian officers who were in Biafra as Biafran army officers were now formally retired and pensioned. The same thing now happened to the Nigerian police officers who now became Biafran police officers. So if the vice president did not initiate the move to get that meeting to take place between President Obasanjo and Dim Chukwuemeka Megojuku, this would not have happened.
Wow.
It is no mistake to portray Alhaji Atiku Abubakar as that singular politician who has made concessions more than any other individual seeking to lead Nigeria, especially in the last 3 decades.
Okay. This is not the normal time that you say, let us go and experiment because we're doing democracy. You need somebody who is stable. Stable mentally, stable physically, stable with knowledge and experience to help navigate this country out of the woods. Otherwise, we will collapse. So you cannot leave somebody who has run a federal government, who knows the nature of the issues and the problems, who knows the intricacies of national governance. Governing Nigeria is not moi moi, with due respect.
So you're saying that we then need to go for an 80 years old man because governing Nigeria is not my mind. Again, I don't know what these guys are trying to push or what they're trying to tell us with respect to that. But what I know is this, that Atiku has had his own share of public life. The country has helped him. I think, at this point in time, there should be those people who he has mentored, all these people coming out, should be able to take the baton from where, he's handing it over.
You have no power of compulsion that you have as a governor. As a governor, you direct, you say things and it happens. In federal government, you negotiate for things to be done. And that's the only person who has the knowledge, the experience, and those attributes is His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, GCOM.
A quote from the famous book, Atiku, the story of Atiku Abubakar, by Kogi-born journalist Onukaba Adinoye-Ojo, now of blessed memory, likened the Wazirin Adamawa to the sandalwood that gives its fragrance to even the ox that will cut it down.
When he had his misunderstanding with his boss, I thought I could intervene by bringing in someone that was highly respected by Mr. President.
Okay.
So that he could intervene. One thing that the person I brought, because I don't want to narrow down before it goes to the public space, it was then, he told me to tell my boss to do a particular thing.
This is a very important, interesting question. Why will Igbos support each other for presidency? At this point in time, I think, and again, I'm not an Igbo person. I'm just speaking generally, and I might be wrong, but again, I'm right at times, right? The Igbos are now trying, to have a common, I would say, person or a common front to be able to at least get some presence at the center. Okay. By default, the Igbos, have been a major player in the PDP. And that's how it's been over time. They've been a player in the PDP. They've actually been so loyal to the PDP. But again, that has also been to their detriment, because when you have shifts nationally, it becomes a problem. The Yorubas, the Hausas and all that, they've tried to play both. They do PDP, they do APC, they kind of move around. So I think now what they're trying to do is also kind of break into the center. You could see what happened in the Anambra State elections, how APC got second, and even PDP and all those other things, they were kind of far below. So again, at some point, okay, I think that they're trying to rally around the current Minister of Works. I don't know if that's a good thing or if that would work, but I think they're now trying to play at the center also. We'll see what happens after that.
When he sees his boss, I won't tell you what it is. I told my boss, and he said, Tokumbo, it doesn't cost me anything. That shows humility. And at the meeting, he did exactly what the man said he should do. Shows complete humility.
Okay.
If people go through 1/10 of what Atiku is going through or has gone through at the hands of people that ordinarily would have, been singing his praises for what he has done in their lives, some people would have been either in their graves because of high BP, or would have been so angry that they could take it to another stage. So that is it. I mean, look at somebody like him who lost election 2019, lost in court. And the amount of treachery and betrayal in that election by those that some of them that were given responsibility to do. But here he is. He has.
Well, I don't really know about the 2019 betrayal. All I know is that the 2023 betrayal, that one was given. Because he had helped Obi out of, Obi was a main player in Anambra State and maybe sectional, but he brought Obi to become his running mate in the elections. And it was so alarming that, Obi had to leave him when he needed him most. Because if Obi had teamed up with him, or whoever had teamed up with him, would Obi working with him for the presidency in 2023, right now we would have a president Atiku Abubakar. And that's what it is.
He has normal blood pressure. He has normal blood pressure at his age. So this is the kind of person we are dealing with.
Critics say he's too tolerant and trusting.
Maybe.
His admirers say he is reliable and does not forget friends. But by character, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar can best be described as a man gifted with the tenderness of a lamb and the heart of a lion.
When the form for 2003 nomination form was bought in Mina by late Governor Kure, that nomination form was brought to my lodge by the ADC of Governor Kure. And I took this form and took it to our principal. I said, sir, lock this form in your... If it is God's will that you will be president of this country, you will be president. Don't be president under this circumstance. I know out there, if we go to the field, we win primaries, but don't be president under this atmosphere, under this circumstance. That was how this form did not see the light of the day.
Which form is that?
So, years after, Atiku has not become president, and it was becoming a burden to me. That I was one of those that played the role that he should not run. You know, so I am trusting that this is Atiku's time.
Oh, really? What? It is Atiku's time this time around? Well, I don't know, bro.
Unity of our country, which has been threatened in the last 7 to 8 years, the security challenges we are facing in this country, the economic challenges we are facing in this country, education, and then restructuring. So these are the 5 key areas that if I have the opportunity, I want to deal with and restore Nigeria to its rightful place as the greatest country in Africa, and which can play a very, very effective role in international affairs.
We'll see. So I think that's it. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what to make of this, but I wish him well because the odds are not in his favor. I mean, despite the all disastrous performance of APC in 2023, Tinubu not even being an incumbent, Tinubu facing onslaught from within his party, APC. He was facing problems even outside. You had the PDP, you had the LP, you had the Obedient Movement, you have all of those. You had also the wing of the APC that was against him, ditto the new Naira note and all of that. The CBN governor also was plotting against him and all of that. Buhari had left, the economy in shambles, security was bad and all that. And even with that, he was still able to, one way or the other, manage the whole thing, become the president. Now, he's the president. The opposition party in 2023 were still more solid than they are today. At least you had more governors in APC than it is today. Of course, you now have an LP governor, but the LP governor is not even moving anything with respect to 2027 election. I think he's more interested in his own re-election. That was why, and that's why he actually went yesterday to seal the APC party, because they are putting a lot of pressure on the governor of Abia State for him to, I don't know, because they are actually trying to see how they can take over Abia State for the APC. So Alex Otti would not be interested in whatever happens in 2027 at the federal level. at some point maybe he's going to do one deal or the other. And I think they've given the deputy speaker, who is from Abia State, the mandate or the instruction to try and get some good votes for the APC in 2027. That's why you see him running up and down, going to that state almost every other week. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's just it is quite interesting. We'll see what happened. The untold story and his encounter with Abiola. Yeah. So if you want to listen to the full stuff, you can see it on this channel. The hidden story of Atiku Abubakar. Atiku is the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Okay. I'm just reading the comment. Oh, we'll see. No Fulani can never be trusted to lead Nigeria. Atiku must never be Nigerian president. Okay, that's someone that doesn't agree. Yeah, this is theater. Atiku is becoming an option. Means that Nigeria doesn't even have prudent men and women anymore. Peter Obi is far more credible and dependable leader than Atiku. Oh, okay. I don't think Atiku agrees with you on that one, but it is what it is. Again, welcome to the show. Please like, comment. We're here to just build a community. Also, I appreciate if you could subscribe. As I'm trying to build this show. With respect to the 2027 election, just to have a community where we can talk, chat, and have fun. Thanks a lot. I'm going to be moving forward. That's that about Atiku. Today, the Senate, they met, and then there was an hearing that was conducted. So that will be yesterday in Nigeria. I just want to see if I can actually just go through, because I think security is one of the most important things that the Senate should be focusing on. I've seen these guys everywhere, but I've not really seen them lift their hand that much when it comes to security. So let me
Senate to adopt
start with
the
this.
report of proceeding of yesterday, 25 November 2025. I so moved.
Distinguished Senator Oduaga.
Thank you, Senate President. In the absence of any amendment, I do second the adoption of the votes and proceedings of Tuesday, the 25th of November, 2025.
Is that not
So
Natasha?
thank you.
That's Natasha, right?
Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The votes and proceedings daily. As a promoter of the Kebbi Polo Ranch, I sincerely request that you kindly honor us with your esteemed presence. Do accept the assurances of my highest regards. This is signed by Senator Ahmed Wadada Aliyu, FCTI, FNIPR, Sarkin Yaki Kefi, Magajin Danki Lavia Bare. I'll take that again. Sarkin Yaki Kefi, Magajin.
Okay, so one of the major highlights, because I don't think I want to go 4 hours on this. One of the major highlights of the meeting today was the account they demanded in a 10th Senate session. Eyinaya Abaribe and Gabamusa Maidoki pressed for answers on the troop pullout at the government girls' secondary school in Maga, Kebbi State, linking it to ongoing bandit attack echoing the 2014 Chibok kidnapping. Okay, President Tinubu announced all girls were freed unharmed and declared a national emergency. So this is the let me listen to this.
The writer, George Orwell, made a very profound statement, which I will quote. He says that in times of universal deceit, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act.
Okay.
We are being told every day to be patriotic. We are being told here that we shouldn't say anything against. We are being told that, oh, you shouldn't talk about the past. You should focus on the present.
Okay.
Yet, on this floor, rather than focus on what we're supposed to talk about, we go back to say, oh, during 2015, oh, the Chibok girls happened, and oh, we are now rescuing people. People were not rescued at that time. During Chibok, 17 local governments in Katsina were not having palace with bandits. People in Kebbi were not leaving all the rural areas and coming to only the urban areas to stay. People in Niger were not being kidnapped. So why do we need to? At any time we need to talk about the present issues of today. We go back to start to look for excuse for our failures of today.
Yeah.
I only want to say, let us do the right thing. We're not blaming this government for what they are finding itself, but it is the government in power, and they should do the right thing.
Exactly.
What are the right things? We take only one example. The governor of Kebbi said that somebody ordered troops out and people were kidnapped. Till today, nobody in Nigeria knows what happened. And no question has been asked. And we are sitting down here as a parliament, and we turn and we talk. Yet, somebody is responsible. If I'm the commander-in-chief, I will call the army commander in that place and the head of the army and say, if you don't get me the head of this person, who withdrew the troops?
I agree with him 100%. I agree. I fully agree with him. What happened?
To put all these children in jeopardy. Then you make an example of him. That is how a country is run. A country is not run on pacification. A country is run on confronting issues. I rest my case.
And I fully agree with what he said. Again, welcome to the show. If you've not subscribed, I would appreciate it if you could do that. Again, that's just it. This guy saying, Bola, you're a disgrace. It took you days to declare state of emergency in Rivers, but you wanted to politically bully the governor. Now it has taken you 2 years and 6 months to do the same for security crisis. Yeah, I would say it's better late than never, but I do agree. We know who Boko Haram and bandits are, where they are, and what they want. We know everything. So why is Nigerian government covering it up? We want to know who will do the soldiers. This another person putting his...
We know who these bandits are.
Okay, yeah.
We know where they are. We know what they want. What is left for us to conclude if we are going to do negotiation, do it and finish it? If we are going to fight, we fight it to the finish. What is the big deal? We know everything. Why are we covering? Why are we covering all these things? And I want to align myself with distinguished Senator Abaribe. Sir, the issue that must take precedence is who withdrew the soldiers from Maga Primary School.
Yeah, we need answers.
Instruction.
We need
answers.
answers.
The world want to know. Nigerians want to know.
Yeah, I agree.
We that is particularly affected, we want to know, sir. First of all, colleagues, I am very happy and sad at the same time. Happy in the sense that the 24 girls from MAGA in my own constituency that were abducted have been released and they are all safe and healthy. They have not been molested. But distinguished Senate President and colleague, we must search our minds.
Yep.
As we keep saying, sir, we know who these bandits are.
100%.
We know where they are. We know what they want.
And what they're capable of.
What is left for us to conclude if we are going to do negotiation, do it and finish it? If we are going to fight, we fight it to the finish. What is the big deal? We know everything. Why are we covering? Why are we covering all these things? And I want to align myself with distinguished Senator Abaribe. Sir, the issue that must take precedence is who withdrew the soldiers from Maga Primary School, on whose instruction. The world want to know, Nigerians want to know, we that is particularly affected, we want to know, sir.
Yeah.
Because if we don't get to the bottom of this incident will be repeating itself. Thank you very much, the Senate President.
You have spoken on behalf of the Senate, and by implication, you have spoken on behalf of Nigerians. We are, even as I speak now, we are still facing the attacks. This is orchestrated, this is organized, and this is meant to damage the image of democracy. And all these things started with just a tweet from President Trump. People are trying to justify.
Oh my God. Here we go again. All these things started with just a tweet? Really? So you were saying that immediately he tweeted, then all of these things, all of a sudden they just appeared. All this whole problem, I kind of understand where he's coming from, and I get what he's saying. That this whole thing came out because of the fury and because they felt that Trump was actually going to start making moves. But that means the whole thing was there. It means that the problem was actually there. So there was no real peace. You can't get real peace by appeasing these elements. So please, Trump can tweet anything he wants. It's because you've got a problem, and that's why you have that ripple effect.
Or call on the American president to come here and attack people. And they started by talking about religious...
Christian genocide. Yeah. Again, let's see. This is a problem. These leaders are so out of touch. They are fully out of touch. I agree with you. Like, it's because they are there. They didn't move from the United States yesterday. So again, it's your responsibility to find out that the foundation, the root is already entrenched in the whole country. If somebody can tweet for thousands of miles, okay, then what is it? Oh yeah, he's saying, no, this is what he said. He said that, you know what, that triggered it. So it means that the problem is there. It's just like, for example, you go to the hospital, okay. Oh, this person already has a problem, and it goes to the hospital, and the doctor is saying that for me to get rid of this problem, I'm going to do something. At first, when you start putting the person on medication, you're going to have some antibodies reaction. Hi, Bukola, welcome to the show. So again, I'm saying that we were actually sitting on a keg of gunpowder. How come they were able to do attacks in Niger State, Kebbi State, Niger, Kebbi, Kwara, Zamfara, all within days? Not even weeks, within days. And that's the real problem. It means that they have a well-orchestrated system. Hi, Victor, welcome to the show. And again, that's it. But we'll see what happens. Let me see this one. We know who these bandits are. We know where they are. We know what they want. If we're going to negotiate, do it and finish it. I think we've listened to this one. We've also listened to this one. VIPs will become easy target if police protection is withdrawn. Senator Wamako. No, VIP can never be an easy target. VIP, the reason they are VIP is because they benefited from the largesse of Nigeria. Okay, they can actually get their own security. There are people that are trained to do security. If you are really a VIP and you can afford it, then go get your security. Why should we subsidize you? I mean, Tinubu removed the subsidy for fuel, removed the subsidy in the foreign exchange. So why should we be subsidizing the security of a VIP? There are private contractors that can even do a good job. So why would VIPs be an easy target if they're removed? Okay, I've seen this one. Let me see what Shiomale has to say. He also spoke today.
Side. There's only one side on this issue of security. Only one side. Only one side. Speak. You went on to reinforce the sentiments expressed by any attempt by anyone to distract us from what is obviously a national issue is a disservice to our collective desire to start farm. Mr. President, I am not ashamed to affirm that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing his best.
Okay.
Correct. He's doing his best.
Okay.
That we have not yet there doesn't mean that he has done anything knowingly, whether by negligence or lack of interest. Under your leadership, Mr. President, you have encouraged us to approve not once, not twice, special supplementary budget to support our armed forces, arising from the request on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
That's a good move, removing the VIP
Those
security.
requests were not meant for the armed forces to buy ice cream. It wasn't meant for them to do Tobola in military nightclubs. They are meant to strengthen the armed forces, to re-equip them, to give them access to acquire modern technology, and to train, and even now, directive to recruit more men and women into the armed forces. Therefore, there can be no question that President Tinubu is doing his best. In moments like this, the devil can come in and make us so confused that we might turn against ourselves and then by default allow the enemy to behave as if he's happy at an upper hand. However, what I think we should do, which under your leadership, even in your statement, you have already encouraged us to come up with such suggestion is
Hi, Caroline.
in the light of what we now know, what can we begin to do differently and contribute those ideas to support the executive initiative? One there, for example, is
a good thing. What can you guys, because I don't see a lot of stuff coming from the National Assembly. To be honest, their performance has been so bad. I mean, under this same National Assembly, I know it's not this this presidency. I mean, you had a governor of Central Bank just living large, having 750-something buildings under his name. And we had a National Assembly, assuming that Buhari was even not doing a good job. Just to put it mildly, I don't see what they do.
And you amplified it, even in greater details than any one of us in this house, when you revisited the statement by the governor of Kebbi State. Nigerians are entitled to know, and it is no longer national secret. The commander of that area who ordered that those men be withdrawn, it is to be a national secret to be kept within military cycle.
I agree.
Nigeria should know, President.
Is it the view of the Senate that those against say no? The ayes have it. That is taken.
The penalty of terrorism.
We need to know.
This parliament is on record as having done that. Mr. President, I am troubled when, after all the efforts that security agencies and the prosecuting authorities have to invest to secure conviction, because unfortunately the state cannot behave like a mob. So you have to prosecute, follow due process. I am troubled by the conflicting judgment by various high court judges. Sentiment of a judge. The will of the people as conveyed in a law, then the president can decide if there are reasons for him to do so, whether to commute or to reduce. How can an offense that carry death penalty, a judge reduce it to 20 years in prison? That's not acceptable.
Yeah, it's referencing the guy that I think the terrorist that was seen. So there were two terrorists that have been charged. One got 15 years, another one got 20 years. And they both should have gotten the death sentence, because they coordinated multiple attacks. Meanwhile, you're giving Kanu, which I'm not a fan of, Nnamdi Kanu, you're giving him life imprisonment. But then these real terrorists that did multiple attacks, they've been taken through the process, they were convicted, so they did the attacks. You're giving them 15 and 20 years. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But you want to give Nnamdi Kanu, again, there are things that he did that, they've been able to say, the prosecutor said he did this, he did that, led to death of all that. But he wasn't even physically doing that. Again, he would still be judged based on whatever. But the real people doing the real attack, bombing multiple attacks, you're giving them 15, 20 years. That's ridiculous.
He has violated the laws passed by the parliament. Number three, sir, and this will be the last.
Has that happened in Nigeria already?
It has.
What? This is the Senate president. Look at the question this guy is asking.
Somebody convicted of terrorism was sentenced to 20 years in prison.
No, and he doesn't know. What?
No.
What's no?
What was it?
No, not saying no. Not saying no.
What's no?
Can I be allowed to lie?
Hey, God. What the hell? These guys are just a joke. If you don't know, That's Adam Soshio. They know what they are doing. I agree.
Mr. President, that is the leader of Assad.
I agree. Ansaru, that's the.
You have 30 seconds.
A terrorist group called Assad.
You have 30 seconds to land, but please be guided.
What should be guided? It's open. It's everywhere. I know this. I read it in my show here. Everybody knows. The Ansaru guy got a 20 years. The other one, who is a Boko Haram guy, got a 20. Got a 15. One of them got 15. The other one got a 20. And they got life. And that's where the whole argument is. Again, there are people that said, okay, their family was affected by the IPOB and all that in the East. People can go to the East. I understand that. But I'm saying, if you're going to do that, then equality before the law. I'm not even talking about those that they've not even seen and those that come for chit chat and they do this rally and all that. Our judicial system, bench, our lawyers are the biggest problem. I agree. Gumi is commanding Tinubu. Gumi, I don't even understand that guy. That guy was in Ibadan just this last few days. They know what they're doing. I agree. Yeah, that's what Adam Soshio.
Issue in discussion.
I will be guided because we have to look at a holistic solution. Because these are sentiments that confuses our people. For example, somebody allegedly killed in self-defense. The man was sentenced to death.
Yeah, we had that.
But there is no evidence that those who are. These are some of the issues we have to deal with, so that nobody is given any excuse to misunderstand what is clearly a national challenge.
Yeah,
I believe that President Tinubu inherited a situation that was already so complicated that no one of us, if we were to become president, can decree insecurity out of existence overnight. But we can begin to monitor the security chiefs. I am sure my colleagues here, you listen. When the chief of defense staff said there is what they call war economy. That was in the army, or those who don't want the crisis to end, such that, we keep appropriating money, people are getting richer, and more Nigerians are being wasted. But I conclude by saying, all of us must commend the president for what he has been doing. If you see his face on television, you know that the president is not sleeping.
Yeah, you shouldn't sleep. I mean, people are dying. What are you talking about? People are freaking dying. People are losing their life and you're sleeping. What are you saying? You shouldn't sleep, man. I mean, when he was grabbing the mandate, searching and running away with it, again, I think it's come out today to declare a national security emergency. Is withdrawn the police almost 100,000 from VIPs. That's even ridiculous. Is put into place the livestock commission or agencies to help reduce all these farmers and elder clash, and they're trying to also systematically how will I put it, phase out the open grazing system. I mean, I'm still waiting. I hope things work. Yeah, the Senate president, that guy is just, I don't even know what to call him, to be honest with him. That's why at times, maybe when if he spends less time fighting with Natasha, maybe he's going to know that Ansaru has been given 15 years instead of a death sentence. And the other Boko Haram guy, there were two of them like that were convicted and they did multiple attacks and all of that. Yeah, that's why I said I wanted to hear what he has to say.
What we need is our collective wisdom to reinforce its own limited wisdom, because nobody has monopoly of wisdom, so that together we can find a holistic solution. This situation calls for national unity. It calls for collaboration. We must not talk as Christians or as Muslims. We must not talk as Northerners or Southerners, Easterners or Westerners. It's a national challenge, and we need a national solution. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. And please, note that the prayers are multifaceted. What is happening internationally also affects us here. This renewed strength of the insurgents is as a result of the statement by the President of America that he will come in and...
I still don't... Yeah, you could have made a statement and got some feathers ruffled. I agree that happens, But again, I'm saying it just shows you that we are sitting as a nation on a keg of gunpowder. If somebody can tweet and then they kidnap almost 300 people in Niger State. I mean, it's just crazy. I don't even know what to say. Okay, yeah, funny but true. He should concentrate more on it. He should be more serious. I mean, he always jokes it a lot. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but he always jokes a lot. Thanks everyone for those who have subscribed and followed me. I really appreciate it. I just want to share that as of now, I'm now able to get monetized. Thanks for everyone that did subscribe. I just hit 500 subscriber. Thanks, I really appreciate it. So we're gonna move on. Let me see. Right. Let me see if I can conclude this. Yeah.
So what they are doing is also very political. They want to see how they can and then remove the government for them. Because as far as they are concerned, what they want is government. They are not interested in the lives of the people. So as we are speaking here, we should realize that removal of government affects, in quote, both sides. I don't like to use the word both sides. So people should not think that there is any side to insecurity. There is only one side. And that side is the protection of Nigerians. And the second aspect is that we must rise up collectively behind the leadership of the country.
He's not fit for that position. Well, again, you know the way Nigeria works, right? They zone everything. So apparently, it was zoned to the South, and it was the highest ranking individual in the South. So that was how he became the Senate president. You know, everything in Nigeria is about deals, about who you know, and all of that. Cosmos, welcome to the show.
The president must be encouraged to minimize and stamp out insecurity and make Nigerians to sleep well.
Yeah,
you can see in a day.
And pressure must also be put on Tinubu. Okay.
You can have up to 4 or 5 of these things. I just mentioned that even yesterday night. So it's not something that the same community that those children were returned, they've gone there to go and kidnap 11 people, including a pregnant woman. So we must realize that we are under attack. We are under attack. And so we can't feel safe here.
Okay.
So remove withdrawal of policemen, yes, for certain VIPs, they could be replaced with the civil defense. They are still armed, but not police. Police must go back to their constitutional duties immediately, while we encourage them to train more. So, distinguished Senator Yaya, I don't know whether you have anything to add, so that we can round up and go into...
Thank you, Mr. President. All I had wanted to say, one, Mr. President, was to congratulate you for having the wisdom and the presence of mind to allow this Senate to discuss these issues of national security at length.
Thanks for the follow. Akpabi is a brilliant man.
The time when you
I gotta move.
bent over.
I mean, I don't understand. The guy is just, let me say, this is the person I want to listen to.
To ensure our country, Nigeria, is secure.
Okay.
Mr. President, I want us to know in this Senate that Nigeria is at war. Nigeria is at war because these terrorists, the Islamabad, the Boko Haram, and all others are not known to our system. They are not known to our system. They are not Nigerians. They are not Nigerians. They are coming into this country to disrupt the peace of our country.
Then send them the hell out. Send them out.
And again, we can finger international conspiracy in all of this.
Okay.
Because there are some videos that you will see helicopter dropping arms.
That's the most ridiculous part.
Van.
Yeah.
Where is that helicopter coming from? Who owns those vans?
Good.
So, Mr. President, Nigeria is at war and international conspiracy is involved. So we should all understand that. And we should not trivialize this matter.
Yeah.
Because at 2024, the security report before us shows that we have the lowest number of kidnapping and insecurity in Nigeria. 2024.
Yeah.
And by November 2025, everywhere is agog with kidnappings and banditries and everywhere. So, Mr. President, I'm calling on my colleague. Please, let's keep an open mind on this matter.
You're right.
Let's speak to the truth of this matter. Let's address this issue as a Nigerian. It's the collective responsibility of everybody for this country to be well secured.
That's true.
And I mean it and I say it.
So that nobody should come and say that anybody on this side of the women of the Nigerian military, because they are father and mother of a particular family, they are father and mother to some children. So if they are on the war front defending this nation, the integrity and the sovereignty of this country, I think they need to be commended. I commend them. And for the investigation which we are carrying out on the issue of Kebbi, since Sunday morning, these terrorists notify that they are coming to that school. So deploying military, leaving by 1 o'clock, it should be an holistic investigation. There's something going on social media now. They are even announcing the next town, villages. They are.
These guys are trending on. If you go on TikTok, like there was one bandit. He said, "You know what? Show me your face. I'm coming." And now I say, "Leave Nigeria." And these guys have Twitter follows. It's crazy. Yeah, I believe we can do it. I believe, yeah. The strength of the federal government of a country is not what any terrorist organization can joke with. But after splitting the funds made for security, no way to fight back. Yeah, I agree. Hi, welcome to the show. Good talk, Senator Yayi. The people of Iowa is really proud of you. Oh, okay, that's your guy. Nigeria is now okay since they have sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment. Don't mind those people. Like we just read through it. Again, there are two schools of thought on this one, Nnamdi Kanu and Do, and we've had some Igbo people come out to say that, you know what, the havoc created in the southeast has affected them personally, but at the same time, right, I think he's going to appeal that case. Just see what happens.
We should not just put it by the side. So, Mr. President, distinguished colleague, I believe this Senate will have taken the bull by the horn. The only thing is that we should expedite action on the security summit we are putting together. We should expedite action on it.
I want to see that.
We should move fast.
Hi, Kofi.
Because if we have any position paper, if we have any document to put together to give to the executive, the action must start now, and we must do it as soon as possible. I just submit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just before Senator Mustafa says anything, what you have just said is that even the same senators, the Northwest Zonal hearing of the Committee on National Security Summit will take place this Saturday, 29th of November 2025 at Umaru Musa Yaradua Hall, Moritala Mohammed Walengazare, and Chairman, Northwest Zone.
Okay, we want to see what happens.
Zonal Security Summit. So, just as you are talking, I think we also have another one from the.
Okay,
let this Hello Chamber know that the event of the last 2-3 weeks is a thing of sad reflection on every one of us.
We know what you're going to do about it.
It has no tribe, no religion, no party, no state coloration. It is a thing that all of us must have a sad reflection towards.
Okay, yeah, we know,
that this issue has brought to us. I said earlier on this floor that this intrusion is like measles. It spreads. If there is pressure in Kebbi, Akwebom is not safe. If there is pressure in Niger, Cross River is not safe. No part of this country is spread. So this represents the measles that I said earlier. Let me also commend the gallantry of our security forces, some of whom have paid the supreme price fighting that this country shall have peace.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have peace.
We share.
Let me move on.
And ammunitions and platforms from other countries, but that is not the way to go in the long run, because we bought the Super Tucanos. What happened? So the sensors that we needed on those Super Tucanos were not made available.
President Gumi, I don't know what he's doing in the Southwest over the weekend, saying that the South and the North Muslims should come together and stand as a force. I still don't understand who in his right mind invited that guy to come to Ibadan. There are better Muslims, people that at least they are not conflicted in the North if they want to have a program that he can actually bring to the South. And the guy is moving all around. This same guy has been barred from entering Saudi Arabia. Okay. They don't want him in Saudi Arabia. And it's quite painful.
Therefore, every reason to devote so much resources and make the right policies and legislations for DICON, the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria, based in Kaduna, to function. The president, when he came into office, the DICON Act was one of the first acts he signed. And today, we have some companies that have to do with defense industries trying to come into Nigeria. We have to encourage them. We have to provide the enabling in other countries. What will come to us in 1 month could be there for 3 months, or 3 years rather. Why politics? Mr. President, so far, the situation in the last 1 month in Nigeria is tense, is tough, and requires full support, complete and total support for the leadership of this country, information, and protect such citizens who volunteer information. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the privilege to speak.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Thanks, Digidaga. Please, if you could like and share, and thanks for those that are subscribed. There's Bukola says that is where the problem is. Religious leaders in Nigeria are also complicit. Yeah, they are. I mean, it's quite unfortunate that we're having this argument, this and that and all that, and people are not coming out to call out all of these things. I was one of the former shows that I had here. I actually, read where you had the Muslim Brotherhood. This is one of the major Muslim organizations in the world that sponsor terrorism. They are banned from Dubai. They're banned from Saudi Arabia. They are banned from Jordan. They're banned from a lot of places, but they operate freely in Nigeria. Now, the United States, is also now looking into banning them from the United States. Again, you can be a Muslim, and there are a lot of good Muslims, that are not involved in all of these atrocities. It's only a few. And I'm saying that 1% is too much. 0.5% is too much. They need to call out this issue. Gumi's standpoint cannot work. It's saying that it's poverty. There are poor people in the Southwest. There are poor people in the Southeast. There are poor people in the South. So why should you, because of poverty, do you understand, you are now making the whole world suffer? But again, it is what it is. And again, before I play something else, I was just asking Grog, what is really happening? I was like just asking, using this X tool. Illegal mining, is saying is artisan and small scale. Then it was just talking about the impact and all that. Then the link to violence. Illegal mining is deeply intertwined with Nigeria's security challenge in the north. It's not a joke. And this is also another argument. This is another argument that this is actually intertwined in the north. Armed bandits and jihadist group like Boko Haram exploit it as a funding source. We had 15 people died from the mining collapse. This is what happened. They sell gold. So they are mining all these things. State of emergency measure in 2019, the federal government banned mining in Zamfara to curb banditry. But enforcement is weak. As of 2025, illegal site persists, often protected by powerful figures, including retired military generals and politicians. So for you that are asking, why is it that they are seeing aeroplanes that are dropping stuffs, dropping weapons? Hello? The illegal mining in all those places, those are the hotspots. Beyond funding terror, the mining sites are death trap. In September 25, just 2 months ago, a gold mine collapsed in Kaduna, Zamfara, killed over 100 people. If you have a gold mine that killed 100 people illegal, that means you would have people in their thousands working in that and others. That is it. So I was not like, so it means that these people are not just, you're going to get those fanatics, that will just go in and, kill as a result of, ideology. But again, this is not just ideology alone, and that's where some other people are coming in. It's not. Recent development, as I did. So I was now saying, give me details on the Zamfara mine. And then he kept talking about, the location, the collapse and all of that. The death tolls, discrepancies, the survival account. Okay, survivor says that actually only 15 were rescued and they had more than 100 people working in that mine illegally. So how much is the governor making from that? How much are the politicians making from that? How much are the military officers making for that? How much is also going to all these banditries? And there's been an account that they even have Chinese professionals, they have Lebanese also engaged in all of these things. So why they are using, banditry to kind of cover and make those places a no-go area, they are silently taking out the resources from the north. Now, that resources that is going from the north should be going to the federal purse, and other states should be benefiting. No, just like oil. Oil is going to the federal purse, everybody's benefiting. So what is happening to all those resources? I was now like, okay, fine. How much are we talking about? And I was surprised. And I said $9 billion in annual loss to illegal mining in the states. $9 billion. $9 billion. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. It's only River State that is free because they have many warriors. Ateke, Asarido Kubo, Topolo, and all of those Igbo billionaires sold their only warriors out to Nigeria government. Wow. Wow. That's really crazy. And then it detailed this. This is how much we are losing in Zamfara. We are losing, almost $2 billion. Again, this is alleged. Okay, what minerals do they have? Gold and lithium. This is the epicenter. Look at the epicenter of banditry funded mining. 1.4 billion potential gold value alone. 2019, there was a ban, but it was lifted in 2014 due to persistent illegality. That's one state. Kaduna West, you have gold. 1.2 billion to 1.5 billion. And then you have Niger. Do you now see that? Zamfara, we're having problems there. Kaduna, we're having problems there. Although there's a little bit of peace. Niger State, that was where we had the kidnapping. Okay, you have Nasarawa North. You have Osun State. You have Plateau. We also have issues in Plateau. Kebbi State, that was where we recently had issues. Now in Kwara, we're now having issues in Kwara State. Now, when you look at all that area, I now asked, okay, make this into infographics. Let me just see what happened. This is what it brought out. You can see all those red spots. Those are the hot spots. And those hot spots are where we have over 90%, okay, of the gold production it says over 90% of the gold production in Nigeria is illegal. 90% of the gold production in Nigeria is illegal. I know what has happened to the price of gold of recent. Let me just show you what has happened to the price of gold. Okay? Just for you to know what I'm talking about. Just the price of gold alone, when you look at it, look at this. In terms of week, it's gone up. So there's more incentive for them to mine more gold. Look at that. More incentive for them to mine more gold. And that's the crazy thing. So there is the financial stuff. We'll just be joking if we're not paying attention. There's no vision. I mean, most of all the leaders here, they're just concerned about what happens in 2027. That's why all of them have moved to APC anyways. I'm going to move on right now. Thanks. If you've not subscribed, please do subscribe. For those that have subscribed,
Senator Titus Zam, I represent Benue. No soldiers in Grey West, for example. There are about 5 military checkpoints, but they are all on the road. So what happens? So in one of our resolutions here,
and then there's communication with those military checkpoints. They could see the bandits as they are moving with their motorcycles or whatever towards a particular area. Am I right?
Mr. President, yes.
So the world has gone digital. And then we should also go digital. We can't sit here to talk about military strategy. But I think it's something we can suggest, that we don't need to be physically present in a location before you can see that location. So these are some of the issues that we'll put together. Senator Sani Musa.
Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, my name is Mohammed Sani Musa, representing Niger East Senatorial District. If this chamber will recall, so many occasions when I stand either presenting a motion is on the issue of security, especially what is happening in Shiroro, Monya, and Rapi local governments then, which happens to be my constituency. But today, almost all the local governments in Zone C, that is Niger North, have been afflicted with this serious issue of insecurity. I know Mr. President is doing very well, and he deserves commendation for the fact that he has to show his international engagements and to be having briefings from service chiefs almost every day. But we must also help Mr. President. We also have to help the armed forces. If a kidnap is done today, where hundreds of kids are being taken, and then the same hundreds of kids are being negotiated upon to get their return, what we're supposed to do is to ask ourselves, who is the intermediary between those armed bandits and those that want these kids to be released?
Yeah.
You want a solution. We know where the solution is, but we are not bold enough to face it. They use phones to call people to negotiate and even tell where these people will go to pick those guys, those children they have released.
Right, yeah.
My colleague is talking about technology.
Technology.
If our armed forces don't have it, our security or intelligence agencies don't have it, then we are not yet serious about tackling security in this country. Because for every phone call, there's a coordinate.
Yeah.
And these people are there sending messages, sending clips on social media, making our country a laughing stock.
Yeah.
If we want to help Mr. President, it is not only Mr. President that will give directive. The Senate,
thank you,
is a legislative chamber that will, whatever resolution we take here is binding.
Yeah. You could do bills.
Why must we wait until president? Is it everybody that will go to the president and ask for order? We should give that order here. Who are the people negotiating? We grab those people first. And then let them tell us how they link. What is their link with these bandits? It should not be business as usual.
Yeah, first of all, you let Gumi come and even ask Gumi what he knows. Who is he coordinating with? That's the first person I'll call. I'll call him to the Senate hearing. We want to hear what you have to say. Call those other people too. I mean, we saw them with when they come for this, their peace talk. When they come for this, their peace talk, they come with their ammunitions. They give them press conference, and Nnamdi Kanu is in jail. I'm just trying to kind of marry, but it's still confusing to me. But again, he should be arrested. I agree. Should be arrested. Question fully.
Families are suffering. So people are living in their comfort places, making phone calls with these bandits. Can't we identify them? We can identify them. How do we do it? The gadgets were bought for the National Security Advisor. The gadgets were bought for telecommunications. They will be able to tell us where all these people are.
Yeah, exactly.
But we are here, we are sending them blames. It started from one local government. It started from Bono. In one local government. And today it's spreading everywhere. No state is immune.
Nobody's immune, no. See what happened.
I don't want to put politics in this thing. No politics. It's a reality. If I have my brother, my son, if he's doing this thing, he should be picked.
I agree.
The law should take its course. We are confusing him. We're supposed to help him. How did the funds originate? They will arrest 58 and release 58. No gunshots, no arrest, nothing. And then tomorrow we wake up to another banditry. Why should it be like that? Mr. President, it is on you as our leader to tackle this thing head on.
Yeah, I agree.
Without any fear or favor. We will stand for you. We voted for you. We should not be here playing politics with the life of this country. We must own our responsibilities. Mr. President will direct, but we have to do our own to help him to navigate well. The United States of America have come up with an issue that there's insecurity in Nigeria. It's not for Mr. President to handle alone. The two chambers of the National Assembly are supposed to take this issue very seriously. We're supposed to be a legislature that will engage another legislature.
Yeah, Gumi should come out and answer questions. I agree. Yeah, he should. He should.
If a senator or a congressman will talk, a senator and a congressman in Nigeria are supposed to talk and engage them. They represent their own people, we represent our own people. We should be given the opportunity, Mr. President, to engage these people directly on ways and means they think they can give us intelligence informations. As they did before, there was kidnapping in Nigeria of an American. And they came, rescued in our own land. What are we talking about?
Yeah, we watched that full, of course, it can be the actual thing, but the operations, the running of the rescue that was coordinated, that was around 2020 when Trump was in office. We saw that video here, in this show. I don't know if I'll be able to play it again, of all the operations, how they came in. Now, the United States of America came to Nigeria for just one person. For just one person. I know the US has its own problems, okay? But it shows the value they put on human lives. And they brought in all their fighter jets, their SEAL teams and all of that. And they came in and they rescued this missionary and they took him back to Nigeria in 2020. And we're here discussing about, 2025, we're still talking about open grazing. Their cows are taking, farmlands and all of that. They're killing farmers and all of that. Farmers can't go and farm because of these bandits. It's ridiculous.
I rest my case, Mr. President.
Okay, let me see if I can move on.
So he said, to even perform and form.
I don't see any potential of these old men. Just lip service. We're still struggling.
We are now owing a lot.
Insecurity since 1960.
To our people.
That's unfortunate, to be honest.
The
That's
military architecture. I retired at an equivalent of a lieutenant general
to be like this.
In the service.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, that's
the
unfortunate.
Military,
yeah.
That is the soldiers, that's the army, the navy, and the air force. They don't take any other apart from the commander-in-chief or anybody that is representing them of higher caliber. That is a general. The command structure of what is happening today. The minister is not a soldier, a retired general. The minister of state, all of them are businessmen. The NSA is a retired policeman. And do you know what the soldiers call us? They say, soldier here retired. gun than them. They call us bloody civilians. They don't regard us, and that is what is affecting us on ground there now. The CEC needs to look at its military architectural design around him and do the needful. If not, we will continue to waste money because they will not take order from any other person other than their own general.
No. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. That's treason. You can't tell me that you won't take orders from the CEC. The whole power rests in the hands of the CEC, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Okay, he is the number one, and if he delegates that power to a Ribadu, then if a soldier doesn't take order from a Ribadu, then there's a problem. There's a problem.
Almost a military rule, and we are at war.
October
he should stand as he's a commander-in-chief because he listens and is spending on them.
2020, what happened
That
there?
is what can really solve the problem. Today, almost 120-something countries have already legalized carrying arms by sane and respectable people. I think it is time for Nigeria to allow us to be carrying arms. If not,
100% I agree
these
with
boys, you see them, you will just be free because there are not too many. It is time for us to stand and make a law that it is criminal for the negotiator because the negotiators are even eating deep into what is happening today. Where is the bank where they normally withdraw such huge of money to settle them, including the banks? Including the negotiator and the kidnappers, they are all criminals and they should face death penalty. I submit, sir.
Wow. Oh, the NSAS movement, yeah.
This is Senator Asuku Ekpeyo.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. Thank you, Mr. President, for giving the opportunity to Cross River South to contribute to this very extremely important motion. My name is Asuku Ekpeyo, Senator representing Cross River South. Mr. President, before I go into the substantive part of this motion, I would like to state here, for the avoidance of doubt and for clarity, that from what I have gathered in this chamber today, what I have canvassed from all senators here, this Senate is one and is one-sided on this issue of insecurity. All 109 members of this Senate are on the same side, irrespective of tribe, religion, ethnicity, party, state of origin. And this Senate is committed to resolving this insecurity that has plagued this nation for over a decade.
Yeah,
Mr. President, on to the substantive matter, the motion from Senator Ashiru. He mentioned various things during his motion, but three things stood out. One was when he selected or pointed out the local...
You see what I see? This is Regina's husband, bro. The guy came to work today.
Vigilante to commend them. Distinguished colleagues, security enforcement is most partly about intelligence gathering. Gathering of intelligence, analysis of intelligence, and disseminating this very intelligence. The local vigilantes are the grassroots. They live amongst the people.
Okay, I'm going to move on. He wants to talk about the
They live in rural areas and...
Okay, that's fine.
Anybody to feel that he was shut out. Let's just use 30 seconds and say what you want to say, because these issues are too serious and security really should not be discussed in the open like this.
Yes, sir.
But because of the peculiar circumstance that we have found ourselves, look at it's here.
Yes, sir. President of the Senate,
get the IG and send it to him, and then let him.
President of the Senate.
No, let me see.
Listened attentively to the comments by my colleagues, and I appreciate them all. But I want to dwell briefly on the issue of confidentiality of the plans and strategies by the military.
Okay.
The military is akin to games theory. In a games theory, the parties involved who want to outdo the other. And the easiest way they can outdo you is to know your city. That where these criminals are hiding are going to be cornered off. And the implication of that is that they will strategize. All we should have done is to go into the implementation without making the pronouncement in the public domain. Your Excellency, on this note, I want to appeal to the Chief of Defense Staff, the service chiefs, to be as silent as possible on the...
Sorry, just information as we are discussing here now. Senator Garba has just shown me another video right now happening in Zaria. Today is 26.
Damn.
That is along Zaria Sokoto Highway. Today, now,
the bullet was dropping.
The bullets were dropping and on the road. The driver did not know.
Wow.
And was still going, and the bullets were dropping.
Only the truth we know and speak out can save us. Our leaders are fighting the troops.
So I use this opportunity to call on the Commissioner of Police in Kaduna State to quickly send a team to go and escort the trailer loaded with bullets. Bullets are dropping on the road. The people are crying. I think we should stop further discussion on this matter and go into the prayers. But there is a lot of work to be done. So, there's no need to, whatever you are going to say, Senator Plank, these bullets that are dropping on the ground, we need to make a resolution on this now before the bullets find their way into the hands of the bandits. Are you going to say the bullets should not be? Okay, just say something now, because I don't want anybody to feel that it was shot out. Let's just.
Well, you have a bullet stuff. Have they, like, instead of, okay, fine, yeah, I'm not sure that should even have been announced there. Like, immediately you should have, spoken to, like, whoever is on the chain of command before even announcing to people and all that. Although I know he said, get this person to do that. But for them to be able to receive this, that means it's already out in the open. And it just shows how ridiculous the whole thing is. The whole thing is, again, I don't know for a fact, if that's true, because now we're in the world of AI. So you just also want to be careful. And you also have people that could drop their prank tips and all of that. Just say.
Just use 30 seconds and say what you want to say, because these issues are too serious. And security really should not be discussed in the open like this.
Yes, sir.
But because of the peculiar circumstance that we have found ourselves. Look at it's here.
Yes, sir. President of the Senate,
get the IG and send it to him, and then let him.
President of the Senate, my distinguished colleagues.
No protocol. Just say something.
Yes, sir. I represent Bokos, Mangu, Pangshin, Kanke, and Kanam. And there is no way this issue is discussed. And people like my constituents that has been in this, that will not contribute one in my village and even kill my junior brother.
What?
Sir, I want us to watch at the sources of strength of the bandits. The sources of strength of the bandits, to me, kidnapping is one of the sources of fundraising for bandits, because all the monies they normally get from kidnapping is to finance or buy weapons to come back as bandits. Then, sir, we are concerned about buying equipment. As much as we have equipment, and a large number of our youths are unemployed, they will be the one that will ridicule the usage of the equipment. But if we sweep numerous numbers of the youths and get them engaged, employed as police, sir, the ratio of Nigeria to civilian ratio is 1 to 700. One policeman to 700 people. Most of our villages are empty.
Okay, so now he wants to put unemployed people as police. I don't think that's the right thing. I think the right thing to do is to get people that are qualified. I wouldn't even mind if you get people that are working currently that can be trained. It's just that, I mean, it's very difficult. People don't want to lose their lives, so there's no incentive. The morale is low. I mean, see how the way they unalive General Mbu, right? But it shouldn't be people that are unemployed, because you don't even know. Possibly the reason they're unemployed in the first place is because they don't have the requisite skills. Make the force, restructure the force, make it that your best and your brightest are the one getting into the force. Not one unemployed person that they're going to dangle some dollars to him. Hi, you are welcome. Dollars in front of him, and then he's going to join.
There is nobody around for you to really feel secured.
That's the whole argument. They said that and that was why they reintegrated some repentant. I don't understand how you even measure that repentant Boko Haram. And now they're in the army, and then we're complaining that things are getting bad. It doesn't work that way.
They're thinking of vigilante. The vigilantes at the end of my wish is that in as much as we are going to spend on equipment, we must sweep our youth and engage them as security. It will take away those that will volunteer to do this job. I believe that unemployment is another critical part. I believe also that kidnapping is another way of raising funds for bandits. I want to ask a representative of Plateau Central, I want to thank the president. Bandits.
Okay, we know.
This is the first time.
Let's move on.
It's a collective. It's a collective concern.
Okay.
This is not a military regime. This is a democratic regime.
Okay.
Where in the military you say the box stop on the table of the president.
Fair enough.
This is democracy. The box stop not only on the office at the desk of the president, the box also stopped on the table of the Senate president at the head of legislature. Now, following from what Sani Musa said, you see parliamentarians, the affects lawmaking body in Nigeria is the Senate. And Mr. President, you see us asking ourselves, looking for possible answers. Mr. President, the standing committees were not created for ceremonies. The standing committees were created to answer some of the questions arising from what senators are asking. Mr. President, we cannot sit here and Security Committee ourselves the home truth. Mr. President, it's just like a mirror. You put a mirror in your front, you see yourself, breaking the mirror will not change that image. No matter how you do, what you see is what you get. What you are is what you get. Mr. President, we need to be proactive, and we need to come with a very clear perspective how to deal with these issues. Mr. President, you and me discussed yesterday that the widow of late Uba said nobody talked to her after her husband was gunned down.
Wow.
Nobody has communicated to her.
It was quite unfortunate. I saw
Who
a video.
are we going to ask? Are we going to tell the president to call commander-in-chief to ask? Or are we not having committee of the army here that will call the people? Look at this interview by Mrs. Uba, Musa Uba. What did you do and what did you not do? We learned from Governor of Kebbi State that officers were withdrawn. And we lament. Are we not having standing committees that are supposed to call these people? What did you do? And we keep passing the ball from Maradona to Pele. It is not going to work for us. Mr. President, just yesterday, 5 police officers, 3 of whom I know personally, were called broadly murdered in my constituency.
Wow.
what was the quote? They went to separate a fight between bandits and farmers. And these gentlemen were called brutally murdered. Mr. President, by your leave, I will have the honor to call the names of these officers. They were so brutally killed, not in the night. They were not carrying Spiro weapons. Only one of them was carrying AK-17. The other was carrying Vision.
AK-47.
AK-47. Only one of them, the DSP. And the names of these officers, I will call their names. This is the reality of Nigeria.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Inspector Amahil Yunusa, killed. Inspector Idris Ahmad, killed. Corporal Issa Ma'azu, killed. In my constituency, local government Darazo. Mr. President.
Wow.
Mr. President.
Just wow.
You can imagine the agony that these families are undergoing.
There's a buffer there.
Mr. President, in the time past,
I think it's from the national.
we're having some of the best military formations.
Good morning,
military
Patricia.
formations, military officers. We're having some of the best police officers.
Yeah, that's unfortunately. Yeah,
Best police
that's what he
officers.
said. Went to separate fights between
And police
farmers and
formation,
bandits.
police formation all across the globe.
I guess it was possibly he just used the word. I mean, maybe he didn't. I'm not sure it was that he was citing the bandits. Possibly it's just the use of word there.
Particular time, Major General Agwai got an outstanding honor as one of the best serving general in Africa. And today, Mr. President, did you ask yourself whether the Agwais and the Dambadaus of those years and the Enjumas, several of them that are still alive, whether anybody has called gentlemen, where did we miss it? Why were we the very best military country in Africa?
Hi, Kerman.
Why
Welcome
were
to
we
the
the
show.
best police country in Africa? And where are we here? So it is a collective endeavor, Mr. President, and as long as we continue to see kidnapping as just a crime, we're not going anywhere, because kidnapping has so much been commercialized. People are leaving their jobs in cities and villages, and kidnapping now is one of the best paying jobs in Nigeria, all across. In fact, kidnapping now pays more than oil.
Wow.
Kidnapping pays more than sitting as a senator or sitting in the villa. And therefore, as lawmakers, what do we need to do? We now look at kidnapping and say we must amend our laws to say kidnapping is a terrorist act and must therefore be treated as such and must therefore carry the death penalty. And that is some of the ways we have to go. Mr. President, the entire security architecture of our country we need just to sit down. It is not about talking in plenary here. It is not talking about one committee or the other. We must be able to find out. It's not about just national security. Our office, with the understanding of the SP, must find a way in a situation like this, before we even peruse to the matter in details.
Okay.
We need to come here and we do some of these things that we don't We only do it probably to appease our constituents. But
yeah, it's only God that can fix the country. Our politicians are the problem. They want to fix. It's not they want to fix. Yeah, because it's coming home to roast. That's why they want to fix now. All this talking here and there, exactly. They've been doing this over the past 6 decades. Yet we're having momentum on the negative side. We all need one good president. Yeah. Like Obama Musa. Okay, yeah. Said hi, Ola. This and welcome to the show. It's just quite unfortunate that the state at which the nation has found itself. Just unfortunate. Yeah.
The matter is not solved. Appeasing our constituency is just secondary. Getting peace is primary.
Yeah.
People want to turn our country upside down. And we are looking at it as a joke. Day in, day out, a parliamentarian in Congress.
Yeah. State police. Yeah.
Will make a whole contingent of federal government go there. Member of Congress. That is an equal of number of house. One person.
Member of the subcommittee.
Yeah, on state police, I think it's going to be such that at this point right now, I just think they should just have a tag team. And I think that's what they're trying to do. State police at this point is going to be a little bit like you now need to like amend the constitution and all those things. And then they talk and talk and talk again. I'm saying that we should have state police at this point. But at this point where we have this security issue that is germane, they should just have a good tag team that could restore peace while they're working on the state policing thing. And there's been a lot of talk about that. I don't know why we can't just have that. It shouldn't be a difficult thing to do. Really, it's eating home now. Yeah, that's why they are talking. It's eating home now. They are not safe. They know they are not safe because they're now reaping the benefits of years of abandonment. Go and serve Nigerian government and come back with shame, said by Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Unfortunately, like, look at how they killed the General Umbu. Even the wife was on X. I saw the video on X talking about how they've not even really spoken to her. It's just a shame. It's a shame.
Did you elect Trump? Did you elect him? The answer is no. Mm-hmm. As they are doing, we must also do. We are here because people elected us.
Yeah, but you guys are.
And we are not answerable to any member of Congress, and we should not. But we can partner. We can partner. If they want to hear from us, they should hear from us. If we want to hear from them, we can hear from them. I've been to the Congress 3 times. I've been to UK Parliament 3 times.
Wow.
All on equal pedestal. Therefore, we must know our honor, our dignity. People will think that we have no standing. We have standing. We are the largest country in Africa and the biggest black nation on the face of this, and therefore leadership must be provided. Let's just look inward. Let's put our acts together, and then we dare any outside power. But we have to put our acts together. Where the leadership comes begging, we must make it right.
Okay.
Where they need to be commended, we must commend them. The Nigerian people we must inspire them to believe what we are saying. Every day we talk like this, we talk like this. You go to the media, you go to the press.
Yeah.
There's all talk. And that is true. But
God bless you. Who said this? God. See, the Senate, they haven't promoted any bill that has favored the ordinary Nigeria. You see, I was reading how much they spend on just their vehicle alone. Billions of naira. Just one good president in Nigeria and all this rubbish. Yeah, again, we also should not. I mean, it's Nigeria is a difficult place. It's a difficult country. I understand, but at the same time, like this National Assembly, I don't even see their usefulness at all. At all. Hi, welcome back to the show. Thanks for your comment. No dignity, right? Yeah.
We need to change these things. Mr. President, I pray that in one of the prayers,
I think
we'll give a 1 minute silence on behalf of these murdered police officers. I so submit.
1 minute. Okay.
Senator Ndume.
I'm Senator Ali Ndume from Borno South. Mr. President, I want to
everybody should be able to defend themselves.
My colleagues for showing deep concern and extensively discussing this very, very important motion.
Hi, Thomas.
Section 14.2 of the Constitution is
concern is not what we need. We need action. I can show concern. Okay, I'm not in the Senate. I wasn't voted into office. Okay, we're speaking out, yeah? The senators should not just show concern. They should act. There should be bills right now as we speak. It's even the presidency that is talking about the VIPs, that is the one talking about the livestock stuff, is the one declaring national emergency, doing this and that, or albeit very late. You should have done all these things way back. Okay, but these guys come in, talk concerns, and then at the end of the day, fight here, fight there. Yeah, joining the Nigerian police was the worst mistake I made. Oh, you joined the Nigerian police. I thank God for giving me the wisdom to realize the useless job isn't for me. I left after 10 years as a sergeant. Wow, thanks for your service. No amount of statement coming from them can change this country because they are all the same. I mean, they were all in PDP at some point, right? Even the Senate president was in PDP. He's moved over to APC right now. I think it's going to make sense if they could allow the white to rule this country. Oh, wow, you're going there? Man, I think that ship has sailed though. These people know nothing about politics. They just steal from the country, and it's quite unfortunate. Almost all of them in that room have one case or the other with the EFCC, even though I know they're not going to prosecute them. They only keep those cases against them if they don't toe the lines. Yeah, welcome Ability to the show.
For a very long time. This chamber, that is the Senate, should not be lamenting. Okay. As you said, should be looking for solution and making appropriate recommendation. Fortunately, this president is responsible in terms of the issues of insecurity as exhibited by cancelling his trip to G2. Add on what the former Senate president said, Senator Ahmed Lawan, on the way forward. I have been the chairman of Committee on Army in the 9th Senate. And during his leadership, we had, I think, 4 submits on this issue of security. Unfortunately, we didn't solve the problem that time. Recommendations were made and efforts were also made. Distinguished colleagues, let us use this opportunity to give the president or the leadership the necessary support in order to address this very serious problem of insecurity that is expanding to a level where government will sit down and negotiate with criminals or bandits or terrorists. The Nigerian armed forces and other security are not comfortable with blaming them. Nigerian army, for example, is operating.
Yeah, I don't know how that will sell. If you want to divide the country, we've long lost interest and confidence in you, or we're only waiting for you, big folks, to end your tenure before we know what to do. Yeah, let everyone go their way. I think they're all tired and yeah. But to keep on going on shooting vermin lies upon, it's a pity. Yeah.
Almost 32 states as it is now. They are overstretched. They don't have the number. The whole of the Nigerian army, up to now, are not up to 300,000. I'm the one. 177. Okay, it is the police that. So, the Nigerian army.
You don't even know what you're saying, bro.
Less than 200,000 together, including civil defense, DSS, whatever we have, it's not up to 1 million. In Egypt, the total population of Egypt is about 100 million. They have 1 million police.
Okay.
They have 500 active armed forces. That is Egypt with 100 million. Okay. And distinguished colleagues, in up to 18 years or above, one of them must be in one of the security services. That is part of their rule. So, the solution is what I have been talking since I was the chairman of army.
That's right, 1 million.
Four things that need to be done urgently on a short-term, medium-term, and long-term basis. Number one is training.
Okay, we know that one.
That we are facing now.
Okay,
they will tell us what they did.
Sir, with all due respect, generals don't complain. You don't expect a general to come and tell the Senate here.
We will compel them to discuss freely with us. Please.
They have their CNC.
That should be the...
No. So I think the way it works is this. You bring up the National Security Advisor. You don't... Again, it's just also to conceal a lot of stuff. Most likely you don't want generals to come in, except there are issues that has to do with, authority and all of that, conflict within that. I think the right thing is the National Security Advisor, who advises the president, will be the right person that the Senate will call in for questioning. Even if you call them in, there will be little to, because no matter what they say, once the CNC gives a contrary order, they are bound to accept that order, except the order is strictly into doing illegal stuff. So I think the first point of call is to bring in Ribadu, bring in the national security chiefs, the advisors to the government to first talk to them. And then from then, you could still bring some military people, but I'm saying that at some point, the National Security Advisor will be the first point to call.
A closed session. Let's not.
Okay.
Let's not back
be it, Mr. President.
Behind their back.
With Boko Haram in the army, let the governor and president kids join the army. I agree with you. Yeah. What was the importance of canceling the trip, right? Think of a solution, not talk. People are being killed and kidnapped as you're talking. Exactly.
So, we should give the president the necessary support. Lastly, Mr. President, when you say get those kidnapped back, the only thing,
to your knowledge, we have a...
Sir,
I was a governor. I used to track criminals up to Kwaras. Please don't go there. How did they even...
I'm giving you information, Mr. President. Please.
But I'm saying,
we have 4 satellites. Nigeria has 4 satellites. And we don't have satellite coverage or surveillance 24 hours. We don't have it.
The Civil Senator, can I thank you for your contributions? And plead that some of these details should be discussed in closed session.
Very distinguished colleagues, with all due respect to distinguished Senator Ndume and all our colleagues, especially our ranking colleagues, who I know, Mr. President, you always 8 Rule 3. And if I have your permission, sir, I will read.
Please proceed.
Order 8/3 says 15 minutes before the time appointed for the under discussion, and unless an extension of time is moved, its resumption shall be appointed for such day as the senator in charge of such business shall name. And sub 3B deals with same subject matter at the committee level. So when a senator is actually on his feet making a point, it is not being rude, either on my part or on the part of a presiding officer, to stop such a senator for us to be able to move the motion for extension of time. Otherwise,
order is sustained.
Thank you, sir.
Please proceed to move a motion for extension of time.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I'm gonna move on.
Who are informants and collaborators with these criminals. To individuals in the military cycle, in the political space, who are collaborators, who are informing and assisting these persons, they are the number 1 enemies of this country. Mr. President, we must identify this as such and deliberately have an aggressive approach to come after these people and openly get them out for everybody to see, regardless of who is involved in in this.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Nigerians will activate Nepal soon. Yeah, the house is as useless. Hi, picture perfect. Welcome. Yeah, you got the kidnappers back, but nothing was happened to the bandit. Yeah, they're asking questions like what really happened. No exchange of anything. They just got them back, all of them safe, sound. I still don't understand what happened in the last few weeks. I still don't understand. Good that those guys have to, get back home again, but who were those calling the shots? Who were those calling for them to be released? There's been different stories out there, how at times the Nigerian soldiers will go out and then, capture some of these bandits and terrorists, and then they just receive a call that, hey, release these guys, they work for me. Those are the stories, allegedly, that we're seeing out there.
Number 3, Mr. President, which is what I have noticed first. I just came back from my constituency, and luckily the GOC from Ibadan that controls Kwara, the commander, they were in my constituency, and I went to join them. Yeah, I'm happy you guys are here. Large number of military people. What's the plan? And they told me how they are moving, what they are going to do, and so on. Right. Mr. President, the challenge I've seen is directly linked with what Zama said.
They are holding, right?
They are obeying the instruction of the commander-in-chief. That's why they are in my constituency. But how are they operating? I think there's a gap here. Why is that a gap? Maybe we are all getting it wrong. These guys are trained in conventional warfare. Their SOPs, their understanding right now is probably we are not at war. And this military guy need to be given a different type of approach in combating the enemies.
Yeah.
And lastly, Mr. President, legacy.
They've been appeasing those guys. They're appeasing the bandits. Oh, let's deal with them. Let's talk to them. Let's, Gumi is there saying that, you can't kill them because, unalive them because they're just, they're suffering from poverty. Really? If Nigerian government doesn't put the terrorists out of the military and arrest their sponsor and supporters, Nigeria can never win. Not only will Nigeria never win, then Nigeria becomes a casualty even in that fight. It's that bad. Right now, good that national, emergency has been declared. We'll see where that. We'll be following the whole story. We'll see where that leads. But they need to they should know that we are living on borrowed time right now in the country. It's that bad.
We've been doing our best as far as supporting the military complex with appropriation. What I still think is high time that we change our focus and, in fact, invest more in our security. Because if the country is not secure, we can't have education, we can't have healthcare, we can't have infrastructure.
Yeah, you're right. NSA, I said it.
All their contributions.
They should bring the NSA in once you hear what they have to say, what's happening and all of that. Yeah, but I agree with you. I'm just this still went on and on, but again, did you guys see what happened in the United States? After this story, I want to cover that. 2 National Guards members were killed, apparently from some, I don't know, maybe radicalized person that was evacuated from Afghanistan. Did you see those planes leaving Afghanistan during Biden's administration, the reckless withdrawals? So 2 National Guard officers in the US today was killed. I'm going to be covering that story after this. It's just that I just wanted to know what happened at the plenary section yesterday at the National Assembly. Okay, let me move this on. Let me see what's happening here.
Osita Izunaso, I rise to second the motion.
What's
the amendment of the prayers as moved by Senator Sani Musa. I so second.
The prayer has been reconstructed by Senator Sani Musa.
Okay.
Those in support of the amendment say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
What? The nay seems to be louder than the ayes. Anyways, it is.
Yes, Senator Garuba.
Thank you very much, Senate President. Distinguished colleagues. Sir, last time when I came here, there was a forward operation base that was proposed and the land has been acquired in my district, but it has not taken up. So I want this prayer to include forward operation base in Wasagu town, for which land has been acquired.
Constructed.
land has been acquired.
Construct the prayer the way you want it.
So that the army should.
No. It says call for the establishment of a joint task force covering the Kwara-Kogi corridor with forward operating bases.
Yes.
In Eruku.
This administration is even very desperate. Yeah, they're desperate.
Bambala,
Okeru,
and Isanlu. You want to add
exactly.
your own?
Yes, and Wasagu.
And
I thought I was the only one that had that. The nays have it draw their eyes, but he gave their eyes. I'm like, it's just crazy. As of today, I don't know why we don't have electronic voting, where we can see the names of people that are voting for a resolution and against a resolution. As of today, 2025, I don't even know why these things are not done digitally. God.
Asamu?
Wasagusa. Yes, Kango Wasagusa. Kebbi State, yes.
Wasamu in Kebbi State. Wasamu in
Kebbi
State.
State, yes.
Kebbi State.
Yes, sir.
Any seconder? Yes, Senator Neda.
Yeah, they're not ready to change.
Mr. President, still colleagues, Senator Neda Imanso in those South Senatorial District.
So you don't even know how your representative is voting. You don't even know if they are voting based on what will benefit your constituency. When somebody just shrugs his hand and say, "Oh, the ayes have it," and everybody is hearing that the nays was actually louder, or maybe they don't even know what they're voting. Maybe they don't even know what they're saying nay or no. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Time to second the amendment by.
Read.
I think we should expunge.
Read what is in prayer.
Mandate the Senate to investigate the root causes of rising insecurity and the role of internal collaborators and report back within 14 days.
No.
There's a subsisting committee.
So we should delete prayer 7. Those in support that we delete prayer 7.
See the state of the nation. They're even confused. They don't even know what they're doing.
Say aye. Aye. Those again say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you for pointing out.
Okay, the ayes
prayer 7 is
have it.
deleted.
Okay.
No, we'll come to that. So, prayer 8 is advise the federal government to strengthen the local vigilantes to be able to respond swiftly to similar attacks in future. This should also include a review of Nigerian firearms law to reflect the current security challenges, as we have over 175 countries where responsible citizens are permitted to own guns or to carry arms.
Okay.
Those in support of prayer 8 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So prayer 9, mandate the Senate to investigate the sudden withdrawal of military personnel from the Kebbi school shortly before the bandits' invasion and to report back urgently. Amendment, yes, Senator Binus Yaro.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. Binus Yaro, Adamawa South. Amended to read, constitute an ad hoc committee or mandate a particular committee of the Senate, sir. I saw.
Wow. Any seconder? Yeah, distinguished Senator Ndume.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Sergeant at Arms, can you let those people know we are still in session? They should have their committee meeting outside.
Mr. President, the amendment raised.
Clerk of the Senate, will you go there and see what is going on there? Yes.
Instead of Senate, we remove and replace it with Senate Committee on Army.
Yeah. They can always get these people if they want to. They know who they are. Cell, satellite, they can use all that, but they even meet with them. So again, they meet with them, they do meetings, they do peace talk, and then, so it's quite interesting, what's happening. Let me move this forward. It's getting
the amendment is
that no, we said army, defense and army.
We said mandate the committees on defense and army to investigate the sudden withdrawal of military personnel from the Kebbi school shortly before the bandits' invasion and report back urgently. That is the amendment.
Yes, seconder.
On that amendment, sir.
No, I'm seconding because Yaro has already made.
Sir, before you put the question on that amendment,
see how long it's taking them to even understand what they're doing.
Contribution. We said a joint committee by Senate committees on defense, army, air force, national security and intelligence, interior, special duties, and police affairs. It should be a joint investigation by them. And we'll give them 2 weeks to report back to us.
Okay, I don't know which one is more appealing, allowing 2 committees or allowing all our security-related committees. So allowing all security-related committees or allowing 2 committees, those in support of all related security committees of the Senate to go into this investigation and report back to the Senate in 2 weeks. Say aye. Those against say nay. Well, the ayes have it. Allowing only 2 committees to investigate and report back to the Senate in 2 weeks. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. So it means that they're allowing.
Can't you just bring digital voting? We don't even know who is, like, it's just unfortunate. Get the youth to the house for changes. Unfortunately, our youth also, they're not prepared. I mean, they've made it in such a way that the youth themselves are even kind of towing the same path. Youths would rather just be, just getting themselves involved in something else. But I do agree, like, all of them are old. All of them, almost all, like 90% of them, they are old. And the youth, the Natasha, you don't want to go there, right? The Natasha of this world, we see what's happening with her. Again, this is not the first time, it's not going to be the last. Yeah, they always withdraw the security agencies. You're right. You're right. They withdraw them before the arrival of the bandits. It's still painful to me how they've been able to do this time and time again, and they've gotten away with it.
In the Senate committee, all the committees, the Senate Committee on Army, the Senate Committee on Air Force, the Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence, the Senate Committee on Interior, Special Duties, Navy has been mentioned, and Police Affairs to come together, investigate that particular issue relating to the death of Brigadier General Oba, and report back to the Senate in 2 weeks.
Okay, in 2 weeks.
Is that the view of the Senate?
Happens. I think we need that 2 weeks. They need to actually apprehend that team, that group that committed that crime. People are joking. What are they not using? Exactly. I don't know. From their seat, and even all these prayers, you have people typing it out, making amendments and all of those, putting it in the records. You have, like a real someone that is working with the archive, like a librarian and all that. They don't have all that. 2025. Now that you have AI. God.
And oh yeah, sorry. The withdrawal of the soldiers from the school that they had credible intelligence on, and come back to tell us they should go.
Wow. Now that wow. Wow.
Also move to add that the joint committees do also handle the circumstances surrounding. That was actually what I had in mind when I was moving for amendment of that prayer. So now that it has come, my name is Osita Naso. I want to second
the motion heavily moved by Senator Ningi, that the circumstances surrounding the death of Brigadier General Musa, the killing, be also added to the assignment given to the committees. I so second, Mr. President.
Okay.
Distinguished colleagues, the committees on our joint committees on security-related matters in the Senate will investigate the circumstances leading to the withdrawal of soldiers from the school in Kebbi few minutes before the bandits struck.
Okay.
And the bandits had a field day for over 2 hours to operate, even when there was credible intelligence. Therefore, the Senate wants to get into the root of it. And so all these related committees are to go into the matter and then report back to the Senate in 2 weeks.
Number of senators in
the Senator Nengi.
Maybe some of them I know. I know the senators, I think it's 3 per state, right? So that should give us like 100 and something. Yeah, except some calls.
Has also moved a motion
that
the circumstances surrounding the death of Brigadier General Oba, who also made a passionate call, but unfortunately his position was given away.
Wow.
Through electronic media that led to the bandits killing him. That should be added to this committee to investigate.
And the bandits are also watching.
So 2 major issues that worry us. And their recommendations to be taken very seriously. Those who support that this the death of General Oba and the circumstances surrounding his death be added to the committee for investigation. Say aye. Those again say nay. The ayes have it. Now, the lead committee, before the additional prayer, the lead committee on this that will chair will be the Committee on Defense. And the issue is very serious.
Yeah, 109 senators. That's yeah. So again, I guess not all of them are around. Yeah. Okay. I'm on Najana cruise. Najana cruise. Okay, let me see.
Those in support of prayer 10 say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 11, observe a 2-minute silence in memory of the departed souls of the amendment. Yes. Amendment, Senator Ani.
Speak on behalf of people of Ebonyi South. The amendment should read, observe a
error.
Both grammatical and the substance. I said the amendment should read, observe a 1-minute silence in memory of the departed souls. I so move.
Yeah. All right, Tony. There's still
Any
money.
seconder?
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. President, I'm here.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I want to second that motion moved by Senator Ani. It is not the duration, but it is the symbolism of it.
Yeah,
1 minute
corrupt.
silence,
Yeah.
not how long it is. So I hereby second the motion as moved by him. Thank you.
The motion has been moved and seconded that we refer to the amendment made by distinguished Senator Antoniani, that we observe a 1-minute silence in memory of the departed souls.
Take money.
Yes. Okay, but we take this first. Those in support of the prayer as amended say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes are. Yes, distinguished Senator Lawan.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, Mr. President, you have listened to various submissions by our colleagues. And this is one of our best sessions on a very important topic, an issue in the country. I feel, and that is the additional prayer, that the leadership of the Senate should be mandated to go and meet with Mr. President and brief him on these issues that our colleagues have raised and our resolutions.
Okay.
Otherwise, these resolutions will go through the normal channel of the CNA, SGF, and so on. And these are issues that are time-bound and time-constrained. So I want to propose that brief him on the resolutions and the views of the senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Oh, makes sense.
Any seconder? Yes. Distinguished Senator Sani Musa.
Thank you, Mr. President. My distinguished colleagues, I'm Mohammed Sani Musa. I stand to second the motion as presented by distinguished Senator Ahmad Lawan. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, a motion has been moved and seconded that the leadership of this Senate should immediately move to brief Mr. President for the leadership to move to him and brief him accordingly, resolution by resolution. Because Nigerians want to get an end to this insurgency, and the Senate is very concerned. That's why we have devoted the entire day towards discussing this.
No, it's an important thing.
It's not for nothing.
Yeah, it's an important issue.
Yes, just before additional prayer, the Senate leader has raised his hand.
Mr. President, your directive is well taken. And let me just say that I'm actually rising pursuant to Order 1B of our rules. And the reason I have to do what I'm about to do, because I had to choose between bringing a motion or merging it to be part of what we are discussing now in the name of additional prayers. Sir, nothing is going to change unless we ourselves first change. And it's easier for us to identify with the call by Nigerians of Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief on the need to have a rejig or a further rejig of the security architecture. Of course, that will be part of our prayers. But I believe that we should start from inside. Sir, most respectfully, I refer you and our distinguished colleagues to Order 23 and Order 94 of our rules. And if I have your permission, sir, I will read.
Please proceed.
Thank you, sir. Order 23.
Yeah. How do they fix their family? Yeah, I mean, they make their family enjoy whatever.
Sorry.
They don't care about the nation, they care about their family, actually.
Order 23.
They take their family abroad.
The duties
that's the problem.
Of the office of the leader of the Senate. But specifically, I refer to Order 23.2d, which says the leader of the Senate shall liaise with committee chairmen and other functionaries of the Senate. More importantly, sir, Order 94, sub 4. Order 94 of our rules says, Order 94.4 says, all committee appointments shall be subject to periodic reviews. Mr. President, I stand on the floor today without prejudice to anyone, and yet without minding whose ox is God.
Okay.
To say that the provision, relevant provisions in our
Hi, welcome to the show.
That committees should give reports of activities were not placed in our rules for nothing.
is for us to be able to guide ourselves. And we cannot be talking on matters of insecurity almost on a daily basis without our Standing Committee on National Security and Intelligence having, I am standing, sir, to make four. My first additional prayer is that this Senate resolves to dissolve the Standing Committee on National Security and Intelligence, as well as the Standing Committee on
National Intelligence and Security, and also our Committee on Air Force also seem moribund 2 years after, and therefore he has made a motion that the two committees be dissolved forthwith for reconstitution. Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very distinct colleagues. In line with the seriousness of what we have been discussing since morning, and the need to be very proactive and face the challenges, I want to support the motion ably moved by the Senate President, Senate Leader, that we take the action suggested. As a second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in support that there are standing committees on National Security and Intelligence and the Standing Committee on Air Force be dissolved forthwith for reconstitution in the next 1 week. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. As you noted, only one person said nay. Yes, go on to the next issue. The next issue. You had 4 issues. We have the Senate has agreed to one. By implication,
yes, sir.
The Standing Committee on Air Force and the Standing Committee on National Security and Intelligence, both committees are hereby dissolved.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, my second
like 30 minutes plus more
additional prayer is that the Senate resolves to give its standing committees on Army, Navy, Defense, Interior, and Police Affairs 1 week to brief the Senate in closed-door session on the activities of the committees. That's my prayer number 2. I'll let you with the question.
Verbally or in writing? Verbally or in writing?
Well, I'll say both, sir.
Both?
Both.
Minority Leader.
But in closed-door session.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President.
Colleagues, the motion moved by the Senate Leader and seconded by the Minority Leader goes as follows. That our standing committees on the Army, Navy, Civil Defense, Defense, Interior, and Police Affairs are hereby given 1 week within which to brief the Senate on the activities, which of course will add to or minimize.
It took the US Congress less than 2 days. This comment, to decide whether Trump will intervene into Nigerian insecurity issue. But the Nigerian Senate has been talking about this thing for 3 years without result. I listened fully on this show, yours truly. I listened, the House, the Congress, last week, they had a 3-hour session on just Trump's designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. You would have seen some of the snippets and the highlights and the clips on X and other social media. They've moved on. They had this thing, they brought people from all around to talk about Nigeria. Dedicated 3.5 hours last week. We're here this week. Hopefully we'll get something good here.
Insecurity within 1 week in closed session.
Amendment.
Yes.
Mr. President, with all due respect, we know what is our problem.
I want the amendment. I don't want a debate.
That amendment should include all committees of the Senate.
Where?
All committees of the Senate.
All committees?
Yes, should to bring their report before the Senate, because we have not been doing that.
Wow.
No, I'm saying that you can also add that as additional prayer. But this, because of the urgency of the security situation, because of the urgency of the security situation of the nation, we are employing our committees relating to security to ensure that they brief this Senate on the activities of their committees within 1 week.
And then the rest within 1 month.
And then you can also bring the other one up.
No, that's what I say. And then the rest should bring their report within 1 month.
Okay, well, I can add the two.
Okay.
So what he's saying is that while the committees relating to security, those that have not been dissolved yet, should brief the Senate within 1 week in closed session. All other committees of the Senate, all standing committees, should use 1 month to also bring in their reports.
They keep funding.
But I think that should be in writing.
Yeah. Isaac, welcome.
You understand?
It's
so
just unfortunate.
Any second
it's just unfortunate.
So the distinguished Senator Oshimole.
I rise to support. My name is Adam Saliu Eric Oshimole. I represent the great people of Edo North. I rise to support the additional prayer by distinguished Senator Ndume to the effect that all other committees should submit their report both in writing and explain them to the Senate.
Okay.
Within 1 month. I so second, Mr. President.
Distinguished committees, distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded. An additional an amendment has been proposed by distinguished Senator Alin Dume, and that amendment has been seconded by distinguished Senator Adam Oshimole, that whilst the committees relating to security, as listed, should within 1 week brief this Senate on the activities of their committees. All other committees should within 1 month submit their reports to the Senate for us to be conversant with the works they are doing within 1 month. Those in support of the amendment as proposed, say aye. Because it's been seconded. Those in support of the amendment that we receive from security committees in 1 week, and also receive
wow, this is painful.
No. You see, what he did, you can't separate them. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, they're really confused. Yeah, they are. I thought by now they should,
The colleagues,
they should have had a lot of these things already.
On the
works.
first leg of the motion, that all security-related committees, as listed, should within 1 week brief this August Assembly of the activities which will help us to justify their existence, their functionality, and their efficiency within 1 week. So they support say aye.
So they're coming 1 week to justify why they should be a committee. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just painful. Then you have a whole month for the other committees. So there's no urgency at all. There's no they're just not serious. And they're being paid. Highest paid servant of the state.
Those again say nay. The eyes have it. Distinguished colleagues, on the issue of all Senator Ali Dube and seconded by distinguished Senator Adams Oshimole. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay.
Wow. Wow. Set up on serious people. Yeah. I mean, they keep borrowing money, getting all these things, buying the yachts, the planes.
The distinguished colleagues,
they're not really moved about what is happening. I mean, we're the one, taking all these matters and like being touched with the situation in the homeland. For them, they have their securities. I mean, the way even clowns, he's been the one like, okay, let the poor breathe, and all of those stuff. It's just unfortunate.
Distinguished colleagues, my ears are very good.
Exactly. What's funny?
So I can hear, and therefore, the nays have it.
President, Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues. Sorry, sir.
Order, please. Order, please.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, we have done 2 out of the 4 additional we have to do with the executive arm. And I will take the 2 together so that everybody will understand. Additional prayer number 3, that this Senate stands with Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on his determination to decisively address and resolve the insecurity challenges undermining the safety of Nigerians and the security and unity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And 4, that the Senate identifies with the popular call by well-meaning Nigerians on the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed.
Any seconder? Senator Mangunu?
your child
Mr.
is smarter.
President, distinguished senators,
they're just
my
playing
name
with
is
people's
Mohammed
life.
Taib
I agree.
Manguno.
That's why
I
they look.
represent Borno Senatorial District. I beg to second.
They've not looked into electoral
Distinguished
reforms.
colleagues?
Amendment.
No, they're not going to do that one. Restructuring. Whoa. 4-year-olds smarter than them in decision making. They kind of expired.
Because it has been seconded, please let the amendment come as additional prayer.
Mr. President,
before
you
seconded.
put it to vote,
it should, this is
you should
Senator
hear me
Yao.
out.
Sorry, this is Senator Yao.
Majority will always have its way.
Sorry,
Mr. President.
this is Senator Dube, no argument. Senator Sahabi Yao.
Let's go by the parliamentary practice that once a prayer, all forgets about and go by what has been called for and amended.
Well guided. Senator Sahabi Yao, a veteran of the Senate, has given us guidance that once a additional prayer is met and seconded, that the question must be put by the presiding officer.
Yeah, I agree.
And that any other thing that comes.
We need state police, we need regional stuff. But again, another thing is that, right now, I just think they need to have like a tag team while they work on all those modalities. Because again, when you start with the state police, you have to train them, you have to synchronize them with whatever it is that is happening at the federal level, and then allow them to also operate individually. Right now, state police things should even be long overdue. Like we should even have forgotten the talk about state police as of today. By now we should all have state police. And then for big cities, they should have their own policing too. Is this not a parliament? Why not debates? So we don't do parliamentary system. They use parliament and the Senate interchangeably. It's just unfortunate. And then again, a lot of these things that they are trying to look into should have actually been looked into. it's not just yesterday we got to know that we had security issues. They just walk around and talk, and they're just to hear themselves. Yeah, I don't see any major thing coming out from here. Now, right now, instead of us talking about committees, we should be talking about bills that have passed readings and that is already making its way to the presidency's desk to either assent or or not approve of that. Because it's not today that we woke up and discovered that the whole country is besieged by different security issues.
Should come by a further additional
clause. Yeah.
So the Swing Senator Ndume, I put the question, thereafter I come back to you. Those in support of the prayers proposed by the Senate leader,
and start cleaning it.
that this Senate stands shoulder to shoulder with the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in his determination to minimize and eradicate insecurity and fight the insurgents headlong to ensure the safety and security of lives and properties of Nigerians on the one hand. And secondly, he should further that the Senate hereby calls on him to further rejig his security architecture for optimal results. Those in support of the two motions as additional prayers say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The two are carried. Clerk of the Senate, ensure the best interests of the nation. We are not interested in looking at anybody's face. We are interested in what can assist the President and what can assist Nigerians to sleep well. So I thank you all. No, first, Senator Ndume.
South is ready. Oh, I saw that video from South. Yeah. Saying that they're ready
Mr.
for
President,
I think the bills are there.
the additional motion or the amendment I wanted has already been overtaken by event because the gavel is down. But all
must have arrived during Jonathan's administration. I think they're talking about other things here, but possibly, we would have had some. Yeah.
I wanted to say
probably correct. Okay.
Was that it is our responsibility and to note that recently we screened the service ships. That is the rejigging of the leadership, where the president, after seeing what is happening, felt that the leadership of the armed forces should be changed. So I don't understand what the Senate is now saying, sending the message to Mr. President to do what again? To rejig the Senate leadership, the armed forces leadership, or to tell him, I agree with the first prayers, but the second one is my concern. The President needs to be supported by this Senate, even if we have to, that the Nigerian armed forces and other security agencies lack the equipment they need in order to execute this assignment.
The Swing Senator Ndume, your submissions are noted. It didn't start in your time, it started in Ndume's time. So you have the floor. You have the floor.
Sir, Your Excellency, my additional prayer is, in the light of the insecurity we are facing now, I want to call on the activation of what they call the reserve bench in the military or paramilitary apparatus, if there is, because it is within the next 6 or 9 months. And if we've not been practicing that, then the security agencies and the military apparatus or the armed forces should start implementing their reserve quota. Additional prayers, sir.
Okay. Thanks for that note, Giggle Republic, on the bills. During Jonathan's time. You're spot on insecurity. As for the bills, you're talking about legislative bill, National Assembly plus resolutions and motions on insecurity as early as Jonathan times, though the bulk of the 25 plus specific security-related bills like amendment to the Prevention Crime Act and Explosive Act came later, mostly under Buhari 2015 to 2023. Budget-wise, Jonathan averaged around 181 billion annually on security votes, which was set up from Obasanjo's era but dropped by later administration. Blah, blah, blah. Recent charter as of late November 2025 echoes this. Senator Orji Kalu blamed the fresh wave of attack on politically motivated force, saying it mirrors the Jonathan era's playbook of election season destabilization. Even US lawmakers are grilling, okay, so if you mean something. So again, yeah, there were a lot of those bills. So it's just for them to act and possibly also kind of review it and put in some more flesh, right? Given the nuance that it's happening right now. Thanks for that contribution.
Yes. Any seconder? Yes, Senator Garba.
Thank you very much, the Senate President and distinguished colleagues. I rise to support the motion, to second the motion, ably moved by Senator Mustafa, the Turakin of Ilori, that the armed forces should activate the reserve bench so that this fight against security can start in earnest and immediately. I so second.
Yes. Thanks for the follow.
The motion has been moved and seconded that the reserve bench or reserve insurgency. So, we don't have it. Well, the motion has already been moved and seconded. Those in support of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it. Yes.
Immediately, the Senate leader to bring a proposed amendment to the Anti-Terrorist Act to include kidnapping as a terrorist act.
Any seconder? Yes, this Senator Adams Oshimole.
My name is Adams Aliweri Kushimoli. I represent an appropriate legal system that the offense of kidnapping should carry death penalty for which no judge shall have power of any discretion. Laws by parliament in this case, because it is serious. If you will indulge me, I will say also to urge governors to have the courage to uphold the letter of the Constitution. Governors shall proceed to sign the appropriate instrument for those death sentences to be carried out. Laws are made to be obeyed. He who swore to the Nigerian Constitution must obey it. That is why I signed death penalty when I was a governor. Some other governors refuse to sign, even though their agent may be wasting people under election tension.
Distinguished colleagues, a very serious addition has been made that the laws of the Federation now on terrorism, anti-terrorism, that kidnapping should be the penalty for kidnapping should be changed immediately.
Okay. So again, we'll continue this, but just I'm just seeing this from the handle of Hussein Rufai. Jonathan, good luck. Jonathan is among the African leaders stranded in Guinea-Bissau after coup. Former President Goodluck Jonathan is among the African leaders who are currently trapped in Guinea-Bissau following a coup d'etat in the country. Jonathan is one of the 36 high-profile observers on the joint mission of the African Union, the ECOWAS, and the WAEF, who are in Guinea-Bissau to monitor the presidential election held on Sunday. On Wednesday, military officers seized control of the government and suspended the country's electoral process. The military took over after President Umaru Embalo, who is seeking re-election, and Fernando Diaz, his main opponent, declared themselves winner. So two people declared themselves winners. Wow. Declared themselves winner of the presidential election, even though the Electoral Commission had not released official result. Yeah, okay. Reports of the stranded in this on the 27th of November. So today, the guy is stranded. The coup followed premature victory claims by incumbent president and the opponent, prompting soldiers to arrest Embalo and out results. Wow. ECOWAS and the African Union have condemned the takeover per report from This Day Life and Punch. Guinea-Bissau's instability echoes its historic of 8 coups since 1974, including a failed 2022 attempt, highlighting ongoing West African democratic challenge amid regional election monitoring efforts by figures like Goodluck Jonathan. Boy, that's what is happening right now. When are we going to get it, Africa? Guinea-Bissau coup military officers claim total control of the country. Let me see. Guinea-Bissau military have deposed President Embalo in televised statement. So this is the...
O alto comando militar para a restauração de segurança nacional e ordem pública decide depor imediatamente o presidente da República, encerrar
I don't know what he's saying. Let me see if I can get it subtitled
todas as
in
instituições
English.
da República da Guiné-Bissau.
Okay, I can see
Suspender
in
novas
English.
ordens,
So this is the guy
até
that
novas
took over.
ordens, as
Hi, welcome
atividades
to
de
the
todos os
show.
órgãos de comunicação social.
Okay.
Suspender imediatamente o processo eleitoral em curso.
Wow.
Encerrar a fronteira terrestre,
Yeah,
marítimo,
just
espaço
seen the
aéreo.
news now. I just had to take a break from that. I've been deposed. Guinea-Bissau president confirms to France 24. Military in Guinea-Bissau president seizes power. Let me see this one.
Right now, a coup has been confirmed in Guinea-Bissau. Now, earlier today, we heard heavy
14
gunfire
hours ago.
outside the presidential palace,
Okay.
just days after general elections took place. Let's have a listen to that.
Boy.
Crowds of people were seen running from near the palace. 2 candidates have claimed victory ahead of the release of results on Thursday. The incumbent, Umaro Sissoco Embalo, is seeking a second term. He ran against opposition contender Fernando Diaz and 11 others. Let's go to our correspondent Nicholas Hack, who's live for us in Dakar in neighbouring Senegal. So, Nick, what exactly are you hearing about this coup?
What we heard from this press conference held at the military headquarters, where a group calling themselves the High Military Command for the Restoration of National Security and Public Order, effectively said that it discovered an ongoing plan to destabilize the country, saying with the participation of drug barons, and the aim was to destabilize the election results. Presidential election results were supposed to be announced on Thursday, tomorrow. And so they're just taking over power just as those results were going to be announced. 2 main contenders, the incumbent president, Umaro Sissoco, and Fernandez Diaz, both claiming victory. Now, we don't know the whereabouts of the president, but what we know is that the presidential palace is heavily guarded as we speak, surrounded by the presidential guard, and we have the military deployed. There is fear that there could be ongoing violence, so during this communique, they announced that air, land, and sea borders are closed and a curfew in place in the country. Marlene?
Nicholas, give us some context here, because Guinea-Bissau, one of the poorest countries in the world, in Africa, what does this mean now for ordinary people in the country?
It is one of the poorest countries, but it is also what the United Nations, but also U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency call a narco state, one of the biggest narco state in Africa. Why? Well, because it's on the western point of the African coast, and Latin American drug dealers use Guinea-Bissau to funnel cocaine that then is led and sold on the markets in Europe. And so in this communique, it really points to the fact that the drug traffickers were involved in this election, and that's what they were trying to thwart. There's been accusation that Yeah,
it's always the deal between the politicians and the criminals. I mean, they kind of have this exchange. The same thing also happened in Mexico, where, people rose up against the, I don't know if they call her prime minister now or president of Mexico, because it just felt like the cartels were gaining so much power, and they were actually siding with the politicians and killing people that dare stand up to them. And I mean, that was what happened also in Mexico a few days ago, where they had to burn one of the palaces just because of that.
that the drug money has infested both the political arena but also the military itself. A couple of years ago, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency put up a sting that involved the naval chief of the country, accused of trafficking tons of cocaine through the country. But of course, none of that wealth is going to ordinary people. Most people live in poverty. And so during this election process, we saw both the incumbent president and the challenger saying that they would distribute more wealth, that they would, that their circumstances would get better. But it has not been the case. And yet another coup in a country that has suffered dozens of coups since independence in 1974 from Portugal.
Right, exactly. On that point, I understand it's experienced 4 coups since independence, as well as multiple attempted coups. Do we know for a fact if this coup is really ongoing, and what more can you tell us about it?
Okay.
It's still unclear what's happening to the president himself. There's been attempted coups before, and that has helped the incumbent president to garner more strength. But what we know for sure is that the military is definitely in charge today, in charge of the country today. But it comes at a time where we've seen multiple coups in the region. It comes on the heels of an election process that civil society claim wasn't free and fair. The main political party of the country, the PAIGC, wasn't able to have a candidate in this election.
I just feel that Africans, we're not just fortunate with respect to leadership. I know people say, and I know it's actually obvious that we deserve the kind of leaders we get. You can't even, you can't even point out, like, say, 5 countries that are really, really doing well in this continent. It's quite unfortunate.
And so it was really Embalo Sissoko, the incumbent president, against the opposition contender, Jose Diaz, who was really trying to...
Okay, so yeah, I just saw that, and then congratulations to Guinea-Bissau. I pray they join the AES to better the life of their citizens as Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso is doing. ECOWAS and AU has failed us. Yeah, it's quite crazy. And that's what is happening now. The opposition was disqualified from contesting. It dissolved the parliament for 2 years. His administration suffered 2 previous coups. So that's him. I mean, I think that's is the one we saw casting his vote. Ghana has condemned the military takeover in Guinea-Bissau, demands immediate restoration of democracy and declaration of election result. Okay, so Ghana, I've spoken. Yeah, Ghana-Bissau coup looks fake, even though it appears to be a bloodless one. This is how you announce a real coup. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, it could have just been a way to take over. I mean, I don't know who is pushing or who is backing this guy. Full statement. Okay, it's in I think in French, so I won't be able to. So Jonathan, among the African leaders stranded in Guinea-Bissau after the coup. Jonathan is stranded right now. I think he did his birthday. I don't know. The foundation has not been able to help this matter. I mean, one of the things that he did, he set up a foundation for is to help strengthen democracy, in Africa. Unfortunately, it's not yet the needed results. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, he's currently trapped in Guinea-Bissau, where the military announced a takeover earlier today. Him and foreign observers are unable to leave the country where election took place and results about to be officially declared. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay. This is him with the French. I think the impact of France also in a lot of these nations, is just quite unfortunate, right? Yeah. I mean, most of these countries are now deciding to say, well, you know what, enough is enough. The resources and all that you've taken is enough. Time for you to go. Okay, yeah, that's that about Guinea-Bissau. Let me just conclude the Senate hearing on security. I just think that this is pivotal. Will soon be done. Hopefully something is done and something more concrete is done following the plenary session that was held yesterday.
To carry the maximum punishment of death.
For kidnapping, right?
This has also been seconded. That henceforth, kidnapping should first be classified as a terrorist act and which should carry death penalty. It is not up to any judge. Once the offense of kidnapping is established, the death penalty must follow. There is no discretion as to what kind of punishment should be given, that the judiciary should adhere. So let me put the question. Those in support that terrorism, no, that kidnapping should henceforth be described as a terrorist act, and that kidnapping should henceforth carry death penalty as a terrorist act in Nigeria. Say aye.
All right. Okay, African leaders that are now being led by military are doing far better than the so-called democratic countries, and that's quite unfortunate, but that's also true. That's also true. We don't know how sustainable that would be, because more often than not, by sheer history and experience, once the military takes over, they take over when things are really in dire situation, right? And the first few years at times, you see them trying to kind of, bring some stability, but then the end is always worse than when they took their power over. But again, we're gonna see how they fare over the long run. I mean, we've had our own share of military takeover too. When they all came in, it was like, things was gonna be better, but then it's not always the case.
He is saying we have to pass the law, and he's guiding. That's what he said. That the Senate leader should bring.
There's a law. There's a law. He's saying that we should reject.
He's not talking from his seat. He cannot talk there. Sadi cannot talk there. Sadi, you cannot talk there.
I don't even understand why they are so interested in seats and positioning where they sit to talk. It's just exactly they can actually advise that, the elder terrorists, okay, with guns are as terrorists. Yeah. Or just let everybody have guns, right? Let everybody defend themselves. At least that's the basic minimum. If they come to your city and invade your villages and you can't protect yourself, that's where the problem is.
Yeah, Senator Adams Oshole, whatever Sadiq said is deleted from our books because he was not speaking from his seat. So he's ruled out of order. Yes.
Oh God. These people are just clowns, really. So if I have a good idea,
our rules,
and I'm not on my seat,
our order paper, our rules of debate,
that's their rule. I'll leave it to them.
Defines the role of everyone, including that of the Senate leader,
okay,
and the Senate president and deputy Senate president. And it says the Senate leader or anyone acting on his behalf is in the room. I invited distinguished Senator Sadiq to come and stand in for me, which he did. So my motion is that what he said be not deleted from the record of our proceedings. I so move, sir.
Well, the good thing is that Sadiq said nothing.
These guys are clowns.
so your interpretation of the rule is classified as a terrorist act. Those in support of that say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 2, that in line with the provisions of the Terrorism Act, that the offense of kidnapping henceforth should carry the death penalty. Those in support that we should reject, that the leader of the Senate should bring an amendment to the act to ensure that the offense of kidnapping becomes a terrorist act, and in addition carries a death sentence without any option of funds. fine, and without any discretion on the part of the judiciary. Those in support say aye, and those against say nay. The ayes have it. So henceforth, the leader of the Senate, in the shortest possible number of days, please bring an amendment that Nigeria will henceforth classify kidnapping as a terrorist act, and also classify kidnapping being a terrorist act should now carry death sentence without option of fine.
Yeah.
Is that
the guy is not? The guy is just he's just working based on the orders they've given to him. That's just what I see for Akpabio. I mean, he's just doing what they told him, what they tell him to do. So,
you of the Senate, those in support say aye, those against say nay. The ayes have it. I think we have so that we don't water down the very crucial decisions we have made today.
Okay.
I want to thank all distinguished senators, because the events of the last few weeks have been very disturbing, both to all Nigerians, to the international community, and even to our children in the diaspora. That the Senate has risen to the occasion today by spending a whole day to discuss this issue.
Oh, now they spend a whole day to discuss the issue. Let's clap for them. Can you imagine? Like, results is what we need. Result is the name of the game. If you guys have not done anything, I mean, we had the National Assembly in the last how will I call it now? Democratic rule of Buhari from 2015 to 2023. And what did we get from it? We got a CBN governor that had 700 houses. We got subsidy fraud that was scaled to an unprecedented level. We got so many issues. So sitting and speaking is not what we need. We need real actions. Where are the amendments? Where are the stuff that you want to put into it and all that? And again, investigation should have been done. Not now. Should have been done. Should have been fully done by now. But again, it's what it is.
By taking necessary steps today to strengthen Mr. President and strengthen the security apparatus of the nation is something very commendable. So I want to congratulate all of you and thank you for rising to the occasion, and hope that our resolutions and all our amendments would lead to better security for this nation. Can we now rise to observe 1 minute silence for all those who unfortunately lost their lives in the last few days of marathon kidnapping and terrorist acts in our nation?
I want you to help me.
From our Nigerian citizens who lost their lives in the Kebbi saga, down to in their efforts to secure their nation, to all those who have recently lost their lives as a result of the marathon attack by insurgents, terrorists, and bandits on schools and homes and communities in Nigeria, we collectively pray that their souls find repose in the hands of Almighty God. And we say amen.
As well. Now, military takeover, if there is anyone credible among them, democracy is a scam. Yeah, the politicians have not justified the value add in democracy. But again, part of the reasons why we are where we are also,
just
can also be attributed
presidential
to the military.
announcement.
Okay, yeah. 12:57. Let me see.
Distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, GCON, Senate President, National Assembly Complex, Distinguished Senate President, request for confirmation of appointees or request for confirmation of appointments of non-career ambassadors designates.
Okay.
In accordance with the provisions of Section 171, subsection 1 and 2, C and 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I am pleased to present for confirmation by the Senate the under-listed 3 nominees first. 3 nominees as non-career ambassadors designates. 1. Kayode Are from Ogun State, from Oyo State. Whilst I hope that the Senate will consider and confirm the appointments of the nominees expeditiously, please accept, distinguished Senate President, the assurances of my highest considerations. Yours sincerely, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Welcome to the show.
3.
Yeah. Okay.
Ambassador.
I'm not gonna be listening to this one. Let me see. Let's just move it on. So I think that's the major stuff that they've had on security. 3 hours. Democracy in Nigeria is a scam. We need regional and state security. Restructure the economy. Idiot DSS, look for me if you can. DSS, EFCC is also part of the terror. Okay. MOR. Well, look for me if you can. Yeah. It's all
Leader
all
of the
kind
Senate.
of
Board of the
complicated.
Senate.
Okay, let me see. Oh, I think the one you just closed it.
Thank you, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues. Mr. President, it's been quite a day move that we stand down other items on our order paper.
Minority Leader, stand down other items on the order paper for another legislative day. Those in support of this say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Now, just one letter. This is invitation to one-day public hearing. Your Excellency will recall that the Senate that is sitting on Tuesday, 11th day of November 2025, read for the second time the Customs, Excise, Tariff, etc. Consolidation Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 713 and refers same to the Committee on Finance and Customs, Excise and Tariff for further legislative action. In view of the above, the committee is organizing a one-day public hearing scheduled to hold as follows: Thursday, 27th day of November 2025, time 12 noon, conference room 022, new Senate New Building, National Assembly Complex. On behalf of the Joint Committee members, I have the pleasure to invite His Excellency, the Senate President, to declare the public hearing open. Please accept the assurances of the committee's highest regards. So all members of the committee are hereby notified that they will all be present on that day. This is signed by Senator Mohammed Sani Musa, Clerk of the Senate. Items.
Yeah.
For the day.
The ones that are trying to obey the law are easily intimidated, but the terrorists are given, a free rein to put down their terror and to just do whatever it is that they want to do, and that's quite unfortunate. Yeah, that's the irony in Nigeria as we speak today. Hopefully that will change. I don't know. But I hope that changes, because at some point, the country would be pushed to an unbreakable and a point where people would have to actually fight back. And we can see that. We see the video from the South saying they are ready for for the bandits and all of those. And then once we get to that point, then you already get into a situation or having a situation on hand where you could have their consequences because of the inaction of the politicians. Because if everybody now starts self-governing, then you're still going to be having clashes, and that could spiral into something else. So again, I mean, we got the nationwide emergency declaration. We'll see what happens with that. The VIPs now have lost their police force, or police 100,000 police members withdrawn from the VIP. We see how that helps the whole situation. And also every other tactical tax that they're doing, we'll see how that also works. So again, at the end of the day, I mean, it's what it is. We'll be watching, and we'll also see all the reports that the Senate actually trying to work on. We'll see if that was going to change anything or add anything to the whole thing. But again, I think we need to move fast, else it's going to be a little bit unfortunate.
So they sit.
Okay.
That's why I put 12 noon, because he thinks that we are likely to adjourn for the zonal hearings of the Northwest and the North Central tomorrow. But let me also mention, for those who may travel and may not want to come back, that there is a dinner organized by the First Lady of the Federation for all the 8th day of November at 6 p.m. at the banquet hall in the villa. All members of the National Assembly, you are invited by the First Lady to a dinner on Friday, which is next tomorrow anyway, 28th day of November 2025 at 6 p.m. So if you are traveling for the various zonal conferences, please try and be back on. The Senate is hereby adjourned to 27th day of May. I don't know why May is in my mouth. 27th day of November 2025 at 11 a.m. prompt. Okay, so let me thank all distinguished senators for painstakingly contributing to the various issues discussed today. And like I said, I believe that they were very uplifting, very insightful, and would really help.
Yeah, they can't skip the dinner, they can't skip the party. That's the reality that faces us. Room burns while Nero fiddles, right? That's what we're facing right now.
Adequate steps are taken, and if the resolutions are followed, Nigerians, both children in schools and Nigerians at home, will sleep well. And the president will know that, yes, indeed, this Senate and the National Assembly is behind him in his actions to reposition Nigeria security and infrastructure-wise. I thank all of you. Thank you so much. And God bless the Nigerian Senate.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's just it. So again, hopefully, okay, let me see. Spanish government officials negotiating ransom for Boko Haram. I'm gonna watch this later today, but at this point, I will have to put a lead on it right now. Thanks a lot for your contribution. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for everything. If you've not subscribed, I'll appreciate if you can do that. Have a very good day. And we'll also talk to you. I'll try and come back later in the day. Just to cover some other things. There are a lot of topics that I want to talk about. Also, the United States, I think they had something more of an attack on the National Guard. 2 of them were shot dead. I'm going to look at that when I come back. And we'll just take it from there. Thanks a lot. And then we'll also see what happens. Hopefully Jonathan makes it back, to Nigeria in one piece. I think at some point he would have to leave there. Right now he's stranded in Guinea-Bissau. We'll also see what happens. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate. Thanks for everything. Have a good day. Bye.